Here we are live here in Southern California.
Some people are built, some ain't.
I'm at a loss of words. I don't even know what to say.
Esports has really exploded, and what that has created is just this appetite to watch people play video games.
Wow!
Madden NFL football continues to grow, and we're back and better than ever here in the MCS, where we'll have our 4 majors, we'll be crowning our 4 champions, there's money to be made, there's glory to be had.
One more to the legend.
Go young kid.
This is where the best Madden players are made.
Live in a brand new studio at EA headquarters.
We are at the home of Madden NFL football here in San Francisco, California.
It's amazing to see how fast competitive gaming is growing.
Here on ESPN2.
We have a partnership with EA. Let's attract our core NFL fan and introduce him or her to gaming content.
There's no telling how far it's going to go.
It means a lot to play Madden and have friends.
Listen up, young man. You've earned it.
This is what competitive Madden's all about.
Like literally everyone, just sit there for a second.
Welcome to Arlington. We have the best players in the world in the house. 512 registered players. You gotta fight them all live. Look at the emotion!
Unbelievable.
Look at the savagery.
For the belt, Serious Mo is back at the top of the mountain. This is that time of year. This is my Christmas.
1/3 of the NFL has crowned a Madden 20 champion, and with it, named their rep for the upcoming NFL Club Championship. Once again, the AFC East is ready to crash this Madden party. This time with the New York Jets, Jets. Don't care about ice. The Jets' 2-time defending champ has his eyes set on a 3-peat, but his competition may have other ideas. 4 Madden pros have made the trip to the EA studios to make the Jets roster as its Madden 20 champion, but only one can advance. It's the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship. Who will make the final cut? We are a long way from New York, the city that never sleeps. It's the Electronic Arts campus just south of San Francisco. EA, of course, home to some of the most popular video game titles in the world, including Madden NFL 20. And today, we are all about Madden competitive gaming and the New York Jets. Welcome, friends, inside the EA broadcast studios as we bring you in closer to the coverage of the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship. Hey there, Evan Rayner here on desk with you. We are once again getting ramped up for a full day of Madden 20 competitive matches as we continue to punch one more of the 32 tickets to the NFL Club Championship. To help us call and break down all the action, once again, excited to have the defending champ of Madden NFL 19 Club Championship, it's Pavin, as well as, of course, the familiar tones of Nick Mizesko on play-by-play. Fellas, big day ahead of us here with the Jets Club Championship.
Yeah, definitely. So far to this point, we have 14 club winners. Later today, it's going to be cut down to 16, half of the 32 teams in the NFL.
I hope everyone got a good night's sleep last night because the New York Jets excited about this one. I saw them tweeting about the club championship, and you know these 4 guys are excited to represent the New York Jets in December.
Everybody's excited here, and of course Scott Cole, 2-time major winner Serious Mo, will join us shortly. Also, just around the corner, we will dive into the backgrounds and storylines featuring our 4 finalists for the Jets Club Championship. It's important to note the road to becoming a Madden champion, a Madden 20 finalist, even at first, is anything but easy. Let's lean on the GOAT of Madden competitive broadcasting, our very own RG, to lay out how the players for each AFC team ultimately made their Final Four.
In the year of the NFL blowing out 100 candles, the Madden NFL Club Championship has never had better numbers. This year, an eye-popping 75,454 competitors signed up to participate to represent one of the 32 NFL clubs. Even by my standards and love of Madden, that's amazing. The journey began back in late July. Competitors jockeyed an online ladder play to secure position on one of 2 leaderboards, much salary cap ranked and the weekend league. In early October, the deadline closed for signing up for the club championship. A week later, 16 invitations were offered to players from each of the 32 clubs based on their finish. 8 for those who prefer playing on Xbox, and 8 for PS4. That's 16 players fighting for the right to represent each of the 32 clubs, giving us 512 players at the start of the club online elimination. Those 16 Madden grinders at each club then competed in a double elimination tourney online. From that, 4 players emerged, 2 Xbox and 2 PS4, giving us our final 4 for each NFL team and trimming the field at large down to 128. The final 4 at each club became set to battle to be called their club's champion and punch one of 32 tickets to the main draw of the Madden Major in late December. And that, my friends, is how they got here.
All right, thanks, RG. So here's our format and what's at stake. The winner of the Jets final advances to the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship. In the semis, the top seed of Xbox faces the lower seed of the PS4 pool and vice versa. We are playing MUT salary cap, so roster building is key. This week, players have been competing on the latest Madden 20 patch. The prize pool-wise, $6,500 up for grabs for today's winner, plus the chance to win $100,000 later next month. All right, fellas, let's turn our attention to this idea. We've got so many players here in the bracket, 4 players in the bracket for the Jets finals. Pavan, Nick, we'll go to both of you. Who are your players to watch?
My player to watch today is going to be Fresh NYC. Last year he made the Jets semifinals, came up a little short, but that was his first time. Who knows if nerves were kicking in. He knows how that big stage feels like today. Look for him to make some plays in the passing game.
Well, you want to talk about a player to watch. How about the 6'7" AKG from the Bronx? This is a guy who is no stranger to the New York Jets, no stranger to the club championship. He was a Bills semifinalist back in 17, a semifinalist for the Jets in 18, and in 19 he was the runner-up, losing to Ice. He's looking to make that very next step, and the logical conclusion is, all right, semifinalist, finalist, let's get to the final 32, because he has his eyes on his first belt and a chance at $100,000.
We've seen a lot of stories like that where progression is happening over year. We've obviously got some more experts here in the game to talk a little bit about our situation for their players to watch. Let's turn it over to Scott Cole and Serious Mo.
Well, they've already taken 2 good ones up there, Mo. You're the guest. You've got 2 belts. I'll let you go first.
I got to go with Evil Ken, somebody that's been around forever. Started playing in Madden 03. Started playing when he was 12 years old. Has a very similar story to me, although I started off being really great on defense. He started off with the great offense. So when you see these young kids and these skimbos, he was the originator of the great offense. He's the first person that I seen running that trips tight end formation. But today, we're going to see him in a little 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver. So I'm interested to see how he can play. I'm pretty sure he's going to use that hot route master with Phillip Rivers. He's always been a pocket passer, but I think he would have done a little bit better with Escape Artist, but I'm sure we're going to see some route combos from him that we haven't seen today.
Well, that leaves me with Don't Care About Ice, and why not? He's looking to go 3 times, 3-peat. He's already gone back-to-back, looking for one more here in Madden 20. And this is a guy that's already won $26,000. And what I liked about him is he came on. If I had to describe him in one word, it would be fearless. When he came on the scene, he was like, I want Skimbo. I want to play Skimbo. I want to beat Skimbo. And certainly when it comes to the New York Jets, he's really shown out. So Don't Care About Ice. We'll see if he can repeat. For more on the bracket, let's go back to Evan.
In the first of 2 semifinals, and coming up next, it's Evil Ken from Newark, New Jersey, squaring off with Fresh NYC. Fresh is making his 2nd straight Jets Final Four appearance, and then in a rematch of last year's final, it's 2-time defending Don't Care About Ice and the 6'7" AKG. Before we get to our first semifinal for the prize pool for today's winner, but our Jets champion will also receive this pretty awesome authentic Jets helmet signed by Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. Very cool and appropriate item to serve as the Jets Madden 20 Club Championship. Also, just want to give a special shout out and thank you to the Jets for providing their trophy, and a quick shout out to all the Jets fans in the chat on Twitch. All right, fellas, we're moments away from our first semifinal featuring Fresh NYC and Evil Ken. Let's get a quick thought on this, gentlemen, before we move into the match.
This is going to be a passing match. Both players are going to be passing the ball. Look for whoever to make that, key turnover, make that big play on defense to win this game.
I'm interested to see if either of these guys have any sort of rushing attack. we've seen balance as a key to winning some of these games, and I want to see if either of these guys decide to maybe try to run out of that shotgun formation, get the run game going to keep the defense on their heels. I think if one of these guys can get some run going, they might be the ones that win this semifinal.
Ultimately, passing, though, we think is going to decide it all. All right, going to be interesting here. Let's do this. Nick and Pavin will be on for the call for our semifinal number 1 in the Jets Club Championship. It's Fresh NYC making his debut in a live event semifinal up against the 29-year-old Madden veteran Evil Ken. The winner advances to the Jets final. Let's kick it to Nick and Pavin for the call.
Thanks a lot, Evan. Let's kick off this day with the Jets Club Championship, and we got Fresh NYC, his second straight Final Four appearance, the 19-year-old from Durham, North Carolina. His second year playing competitive Madden, Pavin, and it's not too bad to be sitting here in the Jets Final Four.
Yeah, definitely. And when I see that favorite playbook as the West Coast playbook, that's something I like to see. He's going to be passing that ball around. That's a playbook that I run. I'm very curious to see what he likes to do at this West Coast playbook.
Yeah, but he's got himself a pretty tough competitor in Evil Ken. A lot of respect for Ken in the Madden community. Placed 13th in the Madden 17 Challenge as we take a closer look. The 29-year-old from East Orange, New Jersey, and Pavin, he has the number 7 ranked offense in the entire 128.
Yeah, Evil Ken has always been known for his great offense, but today, if he gets a couple stops on defense, he'll win this game because he knows he's going to score.
The players are getting their headsets in, they're getting locked in, and they know they have a chance at the end of the day to be the Jets Club champion. Evil Ken, Fresh NYC, semifinal number 1. So happy to have everybody out there along with us. And a big shout out, as always, to the Jets fans in chat, looking to see who is going to represent their favorite team. Pavin, you got an edge? You have a feeling as to who's going to come out on top of this matchup?
Well, we've seen Fresh NYC here last year, but Evil Ken has just been playing the game for so long. He knows the ins and outs, and he's just overall a veteran. And look for that to be the edge in this ball game.
As the kick is away, and we are underway here in semi-final number 1. Let's take a look at the abilities. First for Fresh NYC, Pavin, he's going to be running that escape artist.
Yeah, definitely. That Andrew Luck with escape artist is the top 3 quarterback in the game. Torrey Holt with that slot apprentice, he's going to give you extra routes, and Troy Polamalu is staple in pretty much everyone's team. He's going to have that secure tackler today.
On the flip side, let's take a look at Evil Ken. Pocket lead with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, that pocket lead is an ability that we haven't seen. It was kind of iffy in the beginning of the year, but it's fixed now, and look for him to make some unique route combos and plays. You know, pocket lead is something you could just make a 5-yard drag turn into a 10-yard drag.
It gives him a little flexibility in the passing game. You can see both of these players little bit against the meta. We've got strong quarterback play, and we will see that on display here in semifinal number 1 for the New York Jets Club Championship.
Quick shout out to the Jets too. I saw them tweet on Twitter. Stuff like that is so cool, and I can appreciate it always. Even as a fan, as a viewer, a competitor, any team, love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, Jets always been a phenomenal supporter of the game of Madden NFL. As it's going to be Fresh NYC with the ball to kick off this game. Andrew Luck dropping back to pass, pressure, first play, and the defense, Danny Shelton with the sack.
Yeah, that 14 cap Danny Shelton doesn't have the best speed, but right there it didn't matter. He got the sack.
Wasn't the quickest sack we've ever seen, but at the end of the day, it was effective. A loss of 10 on first down, and Fresh NYC in a hole early, 2nd and 20. Luck dropping back. Great block on the left side. He's got all the time in the world. He'll find Dante Hall spinning and winning just shy of the first down marker.
And that's what makes that Dante Hall so good, that ability to juke and spin after the catch.
You saw a lot of pressure sent by Evil Ken. When that blitz is picked up, it really can leave some routes open.
Yeah, he's going to be running that 3-4 bear today. The coverage isn't great in it, but it's primarily known for its absolute heat.
See if the offensive line can stand up to the heat that Evil Ken is going to be bringing. 3rd and 2. Luck in the shotgun. Look at the wide receivers got out there. Torrey Holt, Randy Moss, Dante Hall. Luck tries to take off, but nowhere to go as Shaq Griffin with the play. 4th and 2, and we already have a huge 4th down opportunity.
Yeah, right now, Fresh is motion blocking, basically blocking A, and it doesn't look like anything is open.
What are you looking for on 4th and 2? Do you dare run the ball here?
Tony Pollard can run the sweep, but I think he's just going to pass this ball right here.
Bunch to the left side. Randy Moss alone on the right side. Pollard on the right hip of Luck. Luck dropping back. Blitz picked up nicely. Has a man underneath. Torrey Holt, first down.
Nice little zig route combo right there. He had to choose between the in route and the zig, and he made the proper read.
Quickly back to the line on 1st and 10. First drive of this first semifinal. We got first all around. Luck hands it to Pollard. He's got room up the middle. He may be in open space. He's to the 30, to the 20. Tony Pollard representing the University of Memphis with a touchdown to start off this game. The run game gets in play early.
That Tony Pollard is an absolute beast in salary cap. 29 cap, 89 speed. If you're playing all-out blitzes like that, just sweep the ball off and he's out of there.
Well, we said it was going to be a matchup of passers, Pavin, and after converting a 4th down, Fresh goes to the run game and hits the house.
Yeah, I like that call a lot. After a 4th down, you know, you may be a little nervous. Give the ball off to one of your running backs, and he was out of there.
Let's look at this one more time. And it is, Pavin, you mentioned when you're bringing that all-out blitz, once Pollard gets to the second level, there's just nobody there.
Yeah, his last line of defense was his user, Troy Polamalu, but he had gotten blocked, and there was just no one there to catch him.
When Tony Pollard turns on the burners, you can forget about it. As Fresh NYC an early lead, but Evil Ken offensively gets his first drive. How important is it for him to respond here?
Oh, it's very important because it just showed you Fresh could drive the ball down the field. He has to respond with at least 3 this drive.
As these players set their audibles on the other side of the ball. And Pavin, for the players at home, when they're setting these audibles, what does that allow a professional player to do in these tight games?
You're going to be able to set all your audibles for all the plays you want, so you don't have to worry about doing that later on in the game and feel rushed when you have to do that.
Can really give a lot of different looks. Switch up the plays. Let's see what Evil Ken does with Phillip Rivers at the helm. Clinton Portis on his left hip. First down and 10. He's going to run that little RPO bubble screen to Terrell Owens. Owens near a first down.
And I like that Terrell Owens item because when he gets the ball in open field, he's going to be a very hard tackle. He's just going to break tackles and honestly just be a great player in this scheme.
Another RPO this time gives it to Clinton Portis. Juke move, and while both these players are going to look to pass the ball, Clinton Portis still has jukebox.
Yeah, and Evil Ken is not going to pass unless he needs to, you know. If the run is there, as it looks like it may be there, he's going to continue to run the ball.
On first down, Rivers waiting, pump fake, waiting. He's looking for Donald Driver. Can Polamalu get there? He cannot. Donald Driver with a huge catch, 71 yards down the field.
That was an absolute dot. I didn't even know Phillip Rivers could make that throw.
Well, there's one guy who knew Phillip Rivers could make that throw. He's having a bubble screen to Driver one more time. Great defense by Fresh NYC.
Right here, I want to see Ken just give the ball to Clinton Portis and get this game tied up right now.
2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends for Evil Ken. He'll give it to Portis. Polamalu, that secure tackler, able to bring him down, and all of a sudden, the offense is stalled at the 1-yard line.
Yeah. In a situation like this, I like to turn my ball carrier on aggressive so I know my player is fighting for those extra yards.
He's going to drop back to pass with Rivers. Only a 2-man rush back in the end zone. Donald Driver right into the end zone. Nice pass from Phillip Rivers. Evil Ken, an extra point away from tying it up.
Yeah, that smart routed in route just ran to the back of the field. There was no zone coverage defenders in the area. Easy throw.
It looks like Evil Ken aggressive early, going to go for 2 here to try to take the lead. Rivers drops back, and he finds Gerald Everett back of the end zone. It looks like a good call because it worked, but aggressive early.
Yeah, and maybe Ken knows something that we don't. Maybe he has a great 2-point conversion play, and maybe he just goes for 2 every single play. We'll see later, coming down later in the game.
Certainly an unconventional route as Both players on their first drive able to open up with touchdowns. Evo Ken, though, the two-point conversion puts him up 7-8 in this first semifinal.
That two-point conversion, that was a great call because, you know, he's winning the game now.
And we've seen so many games here in the clubs come down to the wire. Every single point matters. 1st and 10 for NYC. Andrew Luck in the shotgun. Motions Torrey Holt from right to left. Blitz picked up nicely. Luck out of the pocket. He's got all sorts of green space. He makes Palomalo miss. He'll step out of bounds at the 42. Give him 20 on the scamper.
I will say that wide receiver post play out of the West Coast gun bunch is a great play versus these all-out blitzes.
And we're seeing early in this game, Poppin, aggressive defense from Evo Ken.
Yeah, definitely. He's sending the dogs every single play. And I think that's just how he plays.
As we'll reach the end of one. 8-7 the score. Evo Ken a slight lead. Fresh NYC with the ball. They're looking to get to the Jets Club Championship final. Winner of this game takes on the winner of AKG versus Don't Care About Ice. Our second semifinal coming up next.
It looks like Ken got in the 3-4 odd type of looks. Still sending the pressure though.
On 1st and 10. Luck waiting, looking, nowhere to go, and he playmakers. Torrey Holt up the field. Great use of the playmaker on the sideline.
Yeah, this is something we saw Blocky doing a lot of yesterday. That little zig in the slot, playmakering it up. It's a great thing to do, and I'm sure more people are going to be doing that.
Trying to go back to that run game with Tony Pollard. Not quite as successful as his first 65-yard run. That one loses a yard.
2nd and 11 coming up. Let's see what he does.
Running primarily out of the gun bunch. Throwback to Madden 19. Luck. Pressure.
You got to get rid of it.
And he does. And sometimes, Poppin, I feel like people underestimate the value of just throwing the ball away and not taking a sack.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That 86 speed, Shaquem Griffin was right on him. He had to get the ball away. Otherwise, it was going to be a 3rd and a million.
Yeah, you never want to. How many plays do you have in your playbook for a 3rd and 25?
It's very few. At that point, you just want to get half the yardage back or even look to punt.
Instead, he keeps it at a 3rd and 11.
And ever since he switched to this 3-4 odd, he's kind of found some success at 3rd and 11 right now.
Yeah, he's been able to get a little bit of pressure, a little better coverage downfield. Not quite all-out blitz. As Moss stays in to block, only 2 routes go out and nobody there. And Evo Ken's defense might have found something in the second quarter.
Yeah, he may have found something, but right there, I did not like the play call. I would have liked to see, you know, something underneath with that post, but it just turned out to be a streak. So really, he just had to guard the post.
And for the people, we're going to go to a 4th and 11. And how about NYC? He's staying aggressive early. Luck in the gun bunch. Pollard on his left hip.
If this is cover 2, it will be wide open. If it's cover 3, it won't be.
Luck dropping back. Oh, the user takes away just about everything. He's going to chuck it up, looking for some help from Moss, but that's drifted out of bounds, and Evo Ken gets a stop on defense.
Yeah, right there, he ran corner strike, a great play versus cover 2, but when cover 3, when the defense runs cover 3, it just really doesn't get open this year, and right there, it was a cover 3 look.
Yeah, I remember back Madden 18, it was a little better against cover 3, and even Madden 19, you could get some of those routes open, but the zone's playing differently here in Madden 20. Rivers gives it to Portis. I saw absolutely no lane there, and Clinton Portis still picked up 4.
Yeah, Clinton Portis is a fighter. If we haven't figured that out already, the past couple games in the tournaments, he's just been fighting for everybody who's had him on their team.
Safe to say Portis best running back in the game right now?
Yeah, I'll say that. I'll vouch for that one.
You heard it here first from our Madden 19 club champion. As a dangerous throw with the bubble screen RPO action, and we almost went the other way.
Yeah, right there he ran a wide side bubble screen. The time for the ball to get there was almost intercepted because that Brandon Wilson just made a hell of a play.
So tough when you're throwing that bubble screen all the way across the hashes. It's a long way for the ball to go as there's that short corner route you love to see from the tight end.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of players don't have an answer to that corner route, so look for Ken to keep abusing that play later on in the game.
Yeah, looking at these rosters, he's got that Dallas Clark at tight end. No 10 cap out there as Portis, he'll pick up a couple.
I really like that Dallas Clark. Even though he isn't the highest overall, he's still a great tight end, and you know, it fits Evil Ken's scheme very well.
He's got good route running. He's got a little bit of speed, just enough to make when he's matched up against the safety, hit that short corner route.
Yeah, and that corner route is so good because it just sits in between all the coverages and makes it such an easy throw.
2nd down and 8 for Evil Ken. 1 point lead, having a stretch run for Clinton Portis. I'm going to say something I haven't said in 2 weeks. That's the first time we've seen a stretch run today.
Yeah, majority of the runs are, you know, in this game have been inside zones or dives.
Rivers, corner route, Dallas Clark, 1st down inside the red zone.
I will say Fresh needs to make an adjustment right there, or Ken is just going to continuously throw that route for the rest of the game. And it's going to be a long game.
Portis trying to find some room left side, and other thing that Evil Ken has done, he took this ball near the beginning of the 2nd quarter, and we're almost at the 1 minute mark. He's used this entire clock.
Yeah, and look at him going for 2. Look what situation it puts him at. Instead of going up 3, he's maybe going to be going up 4. If he scores a touchdown, he's going to be going up 8. Who knows if he even goes for 2 again.
A slim 1 point lead. Clinton Portis, slippery, right through the middle, picks up 5. Fresh NYC's used 2 timeouts. He wants the ball back before halftime on 3rd and 6. Rivers waiting, looking. Gerald Everett one more time. If it works, lather, rinse, repeat. Evil Ken with a touchdown.
And right there we saw number 55, I believe that's Foyesade Alukin. Low cap player, he's never going to make that play on that tight end corner. And he's going for 2 again. I love the play call.
That worked from the first time. Can he extend the lead? Rivers dropping back, looking to the corner out. It's Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett is making himself a New York Jets Club Championship MVP.
Yeah, that corner route looks like his best play. He definitely knows something that we don't, and he's going to go for 2 every time, it looks like.
Well, 2 2-point conversions have made this a 2-possession game, and Pavin, we commended Evil Ken as we take a look at this touchdown one more time. We commended Evil Ken for the changes he made defensively to get a stop. Now it's going to be on Fresh NYC to find some sort of defense.
Yeah, definitely, but he has to get 3 right here. It hasn't looked like he's been able to get a stop, and Evil Ken gets the ball at half, so he needs to get 3 right here.
Under a minute to go in the first half. It's been a wild first semifinal. Luck. Nowhere to go. Trying to use that escape artist, and Shaq Griffin says no escaping from me.
Yeah, and even if he was able to evade Shaq Griffin, there was a spy there. That was a great defensive adjustment right there.
And that clock continues to tick, tick, tick. Under 30 seconds in the first half.
If you're Fresh, you really don't want to force anything right here. Otherwise, this game just may be getting out of hand.
Points are important, but last thing you want to do is turn it over. Lock. Looks underneath, has a man wide open. That's Randy Moss. Spin move around the user. He's a 1st down and more inside the 40 to the 45-yard line. 11 seconds left, but gets a big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, that was a great spin move. Randy Moss isn't really known for his spins and jukes, but right there he definitely made a great play.
1 timeout remaining for Fresh NYC. Looking for points before the half. 11 seconds on the clock.
He needs about 25 yards to 30 yards right here to get in field goal range.
He's got the wide receivers to do it. Moss, Hall, Holt, all out there. Luck's in trouble, out of the pocket. He's looking over the top for Randy Moss. Did he get behind the defense? What a touchdown! Before the half, Fresh NYC finding number 84.
And that wide receiver post play coming back in hand. Andrew Luck making an absolute dot of a throw. Right there, Ken's user kind of had to choose between the crossing route and the post, and he honestly probably didn't think that Luck would have been able to make that throw. And just now we're going into half, 2-point game.
Pavin, we've seen Rivers make one of those throws. Now we've seen Luck make one of those throws. It's a passer's game here in the first semifinal.
And I love it. I love it.
Clock running down, out of bounds with 2 seconds left. Let's take a look at this one more time. Pavin, first he escapes the pressure and he just throws an absolute laser at a Randy Moss.
Yeah, I believe Ken maybe thought that Palomalu was going to be back there in that deep blue coverage to make a play, but he had just drifted down and leaving that post wide open for a touchdown. Great play for Fresh NYC.
What sort of play does Evil Ken have? Final play of the first half. Why not? Make it simple. Stretch run for Portis. Trying to find something. Almost able to break it, but we will head to halftime. What a first half of action. 16-14. The eventual Jets champion will win this Sam Darnold signed helmet. What a trophy. The next semifinal, it's AKG and the two-time defending champ. Don't care about ice. That's coming up next. But we still got a full half of action here between NYC and Evil Ken. Deep breath. Get a glass of water. Pavin, that's about as good of a first half as you can ask for.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I would say the 2 plays of the first half were those two-point conversions. In a normal game, this is a tie ball game, but Ken obviously with the edge right now with those two-point conversions.
I don't know if I've ever seen Pavin so happy as seeing a game here in Madden NFL 20 with this much passing.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game, and it's going to come down to the wire, I believe.
The difference in this one, two-point conversions. Evil Ken staying aggressive. We question whether that would work out for him. Right now, it's been the play as he has a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and we see Fresh back in the nickel. I really don't like this look. I want to see him get in some type of 3-4 and make some really good adjustments. We'll see how it goes.
Rivers gives it to Portis. Jadeveon Clowney. Doesn't matter if you're in a 3-4, 4-3, 54. If Jadeveon Clowney's out there, you're making plays.
Yeah, that was a great block shed by Jadeveon Clowney. Absolute beast of a player.
Now Seattle Seahawk. Rivers, play action. Looking for the corner out. Can Apke get over there? He can, and Donald Driver is in space. Inside the 20. Looking like 1995 out here. Donald Driver with the burners.
Right there, Ken had both crossing routes open. He had the one to the tight end, which I honestly would have thrown, but that one, he got a great rack animation. Maybe if he keeps running straight instead of stopping and going, he could maybe have a touchdown right now.
Pavin, how old were you in 95?
Was not born.
That makes me sad inside. So you didn't watch a lot of Donald Driver in play.
Now, I'll watch some highlights now that you bring him up.
Bless YouTube. 16-14. Evil Ken on top. And now driving. First drive of the second half. Rivers looking to Owens. I actually thought that was going to the halfback, and he overthrew it.
Yeah, right there, it looked like that was a play that already had a hitch built in. That pocket lead ability showing off right there. Gain of 2 yards on that hitch.
Now 2nd and 8. Rivers looking, finds Portis. That's what's so dangerous about the jukebox, Pop. It's not just when Portis gets the ball in the backfield. Even in space, catching the ball, he's so tough to bring down.
Yeah, that jukebox ability is just really, really good in any circumstances, whether it's catching the ball, even a screen pass. Just if he gets the ball, he's going to make a play with that jukebox.
Rivers on 3rd and 3. Evil Ken looking. He's got a couple right side. Why not? Donald Driver got you there. Donald Driver finishes it off, and Evil Ken back up by 8.
And the theme of the game has been those corner routes. Right there, he had both of them open, Dallas Clark and Donald Driver. Great play right there. And now he kicked 3, or he kicked his PAT. No need to go for 2 right there.
Yeah, no need to go for 2 because you're up by 2 scores. And we've seen Evil Ken's defense pretty good today, save for that big play before the half. How different does this game look if Evil Ken doesn't give up the bomb at the end of the half?
Oh, this game might be over if he didn't do that. But right there we see the rack, absolute speed burst of the rack. And, you know, right there I would have liked to see him continue running, but he still got the job done and got 7 points on the board.
And sometimes you forget that Troy Apke can't make every play in the game. Trying to catch up to Donald Driver. What does Fresh NYC having his bag of tricks. Fresh NYC, obviously, from North Carolina. Luck. Over the middle. It's Dante Hall, first down. Nice read, simple play to start off the drive.
Yeah, earlier I had said that deep post is a great play against the all-out blitz. Deep corner is also a great play against the all-out blitz.
Will the pressure continue to hold? As Luck, oh, there he comes from around the outside. I know who that is, number 90, Jadeveon Clowney with the sack.
Yeah, we had seen him earlier in this half making a great play on the run for Fresh NYC, right there making a great play for Evil Ken on the pass.
Second and long. There comes Clowney, Luck out of the pocket, but he's got nobody in front of him, and he's gonna take a hit, picks up the first down, but dangerous play.
Yeah, after seeing my quarterback get hit stick right here, I might just run a sweep and, you know, let Andrew Luck get his stamina back. And honestly, I thought he was about to unload and throw the post because it was there for a second, but not a bad call to get the first down.
Especially when you got number 90 coming around your blind side.
Yeah, definitely. Clowney was ready to absolutely hurt Andrew Luck right there.
That's the voice of the Madden 19 club champion, Pavin. Nick Mazesco along with you as he runs that sweep with Pollard, but the defense well prepared.
Yeah, and you can't be mad at a gain of 3. I don't believe he has, you know, the personnel to run the ball. Any gain of positive yardage while running the ball with this Pollard is a win, in my opinion.
Which just makes it all the more impressive. He opened up the game with that 65-yard run. Only 3 rushes for Pollard, but he's found the end zone. Back to the punch, 2nd and 7. Luck in trouble. Oh, looking for Holt. Ends up being a throwaway. Just amazing he got that ball off.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Clowney is eating. He is coming free every single time on that right edge or left edge. Just watch for the tight end and watch him come in free right here.
Yep, you see Jadeveon Clowney on the left side. Changing up the play, getting his hot routes going. Brings Moss over to the left side, 3rd and 7. Pressure picked up nicely, but nobody open downfield. There's the playmaker, and he's got Randy Moss one more time. Good patience, and the offensive line holds up.
Yeah, right now, Fresh NYC is just escaping the pocket, getting out of the pocket, and just rerouting one of these receivers to get the first down.
Pavin, when you're getting so much pressure from one player, how do you mitigate some of that? How do you find a way to stop him?
You either implement motion blocking, slide protections, or IDing the mic. Even double teaming, that's a great feature they added earlier on in the year.
It's not great for me. In my franchise, I've got DeMarcus Lawrence. Everyone keeps double teaming him. It's very rude. Just let him be one-on-one. As Pollard, nowhere to go up the middle. Binder coming up next. AKG. And don't care about ice, a rematch from last year's Jets final. We get in the semi. Scott Cole and Sirius Mo will have that one just around the corner.
We see them both taking a sip of the water. That only means one thing in Madden. It's going to the 4th quarter.
4's up in the chat. We got 5 minutes of game left. It's a 9-point lead for Evil Ken, but this game far from over.
Yeah, definitely. Right here, if you're Fresh NYC, you got to try your best to get 7. 7 puts you back in a spot where, you know, even giving up 3 wouldn't end the game.
Evil Ken, of course, he went 3-0 through his ladders.
And he's looked so great on offense this game. Cannot take one thing away from him.
Yeah, he actually beat AKG in the winner's bracket final, 16-13. Could we see a rematch? Will Fresh NYC find a way to put together a comeback? Luck. Out of the pocket. Good coverage downfield. Luck will take off. Makes a man miss. He's still on his feet inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Andrew Luck's wheels.
Yeah, Andrew Luck's wheels are very underrated. You're typically known, Andrew Luck, for throwing the ball all around the yard. Right there, he just completely outran his spy.
This, the biggest 7 yards that NYC needs to get back in this game. First time we've seen him really out of the shotgun. Brings Andrew Luck into the single back.
Right here, I see Hall open with no corner to contest him. I would have switched. Oh, and right there, we saw him motion back his corner.
Holt back across the formation. Stretch run for Tony Pollard. Who's that guy on the edge? Jadeveon Clowney. All he's done is wreaked havoc.
Yeah, if you want to run to the ball, I advise you to not run the ball to his side.
That's sound advice. Just avoid him at all costs. Don't run at Jadeveon Clowney. Back in the gun bunch, 2nd and goal. Under 4:30 to go. Luck.
Wheel route.
Got him. Tony Pollard with the catch in coverage. Poppy, you saw it right away. The wheel route from the halfback gives him 6.
Yeah, right there, I believe 17 cap, Devin White, he's not going to make that play. You know, maybe if he had a TJ Logan or something in that backfield, he could man him up there, but Tony Pollard is way too fast to be manning up an 83 speed player on him.
And Poppy, once again, we mentioned the aggressiveness from Evil Ken to go for 2 on those first 2 touchdowns. It's the difference in the game.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a tie ball game right now, and, you know, getting 3 right here helps, but a touchdown ices the game.
Yeah, look at this one more time. Pollard, he makes that cut past the linebacker, and it's tough to keep up with that speed.
Yeah, 89 speed, 83 speed. You know, 89 speed is going to win that route every single time.
Evil Ken, 10 years the senior of Fresh NYC. Trying to teach him a lesson about the game of Madden. Fresh NYC trying to usher in the new generation.
And if you're Ken, this is the way you want it. You want to end the game with your offense out there. He's known to be an offensive player. He feels so comfortable right now.
Woo, Portis jukebox. What a move to get around the tackle and just get 6 out of that.
Yeah, I thought he was out of there on that second move for a second. The game most likely would have been over. Great way to tackle him up right there.
And now we get to see has Fresh NYC made any adjustments defensively, because Evil Ken's been able to move the ball at will down the field.
Yeah, and Evil Ken is playing so balanced, and I love seeing that, implementing his really great running back, Clint Portis, and his great quarterback, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, it just seems like when you have something that can stop Portis, he'll hit you with a pass. Stretch run for Portis. Right side, first down. Trying to close this game is Evil Ken.
I need to see Fresh NYC get in a 3-4 look. This nickel is not getting the job done.
Do you worry at all if you're in that 3-4 about giving up the pass?
At that point, you know, the run is killing him right now. He might get clocked out. At that point, you just got to let him pass.
Yeah, take your chances as Rivers is going to pass. Good coverage downfield. Rivers, he's going to take a shot looking for Driver. Can Apke make a play? Donald Driver throwing it back to the mid-90s as another touchdown for Evil Ken. He might have sealed the game.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers is making throws I haven't seen all year long. Right there, I thought Apke was going to get a great animation and pick the ball off, but that may have just iced the game. Great play, great dot.
Hear the crowd with the Jets. Shout out to all the Jets fans at home enjoying their Friday, watching a little Madden NFL 20. Nick Mazesco popping along with you, and Evil Ken putting on a show. As look at this one more time. I thought there was nobody open, but once again, that deep post gets over the top.
Yeah, and right there you saw Ken stay cool, calm, and collected in that pocket, step up and throw an absolute laser.
As Andrew Luck looking to make some plays for NYC, down by 9.
You're not going to run away from him. You're just not going to. Clowney on the sack.
Fresh NYC is going to go to bed tonight and have nightmares of Jadeveon Clowney in the backfield. As that clock becoming an issue, under 2:30 to go in our first semifinal.
Right here, if I'm Ken, you know, obviously the blitz just worked. I don't know if I want to see him continuously blitz and give something up downfield.
Yeah, especially with the lead. Luck.
Wow.
He's out of luck. Troy Polamalu, hands above your head, folks. We got a safety.
He just did something very next level, something we haven't really seen this year. He used a rush with Troy Polamalu when everyone looked like they just had gotten blocked. That's a great play right there, pretty much icing the game.
Ever since that first drive with Evil Ken's defense, as Ice looks on at this, who he could be facing if he's able to get past AKG in that second semifinal. Ever since that first drive, Evil Ken has made some masterful defensive adjustments.
Yeah, definitely. He saw that 3-4 bear wasn't going to cut it. He got in the 3-4 odd. Probably the best formation on defense this year, and, you know, the rest was history.
T.O. on the bubble screen. Falls down, and we'll hit the 2-minute warning. Evil Ken, he's starting to think about his final strategy as he has this game locked down. Up 32-21 with the ball.
And right now, I want to say I don't think Evil Ken has an incompletion. And the way he's balanced the run game into his scheme as well, it's just he's looked really great on offense.
Portis up the middle. Yeah, we said in pregame, balance for Evil Ken. Whoever can have that little more balance may win this game. And Evil Ken, it feels like it's about as close to 50-50 as you can get.
Yeah, definitely. You had made that great call about the balance in the run game. And right now, the person running the ball with Clem Portis is going to win the game.
And you want to talk about great additions to Madden NFL 20. Evil Ken's offense really built around those RPOs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Something we haven't seen that much from the top tier competitors. We knew someone was going to get that involved in their scheme, and we're seeing, the first glimpse of it today.
In the poll on the League Ops Twitter, Evil Ken only getting 13% of the vote to win the Jets Club Championship. I don't know. I think Evil Ken's probably changed a couple minds out there.
Yeah, definitely. His percentage has gone up, to say the least.
AKG and Don't Care About Ice coming up next.
And if you're fresh right now, hold your head up high. You played a great game. You battled back. You scored points on offense. And you're going to be back again.
How much does Evil Ken's experience, being a veteran, play in these live finals?
It's so much, To know that you're playing someone who's new to the big stage, you have that edge. I've been in that spot. I've been there, And those two-point conversions, next level things right there.
Well, it's knees, and GG's as Evil Ken will make his way to the finals of the New York Jets Club Championship. A dominant second half, a balanced attack, and a deserving winner.
Those Jets jerseys are so nice.
Poppin always focusing on the important things, the swag. Let's throw it over to our man, Evan Rayner, who's with the winner, Evil Ken.
We got another Virgo in the house over here, 26th September. Libra. Okay. So 29 years old. And honestly, this is the farthest you've ever gone in the Madden Club Championships, correct?
Yeah, correct.
How does it feel just coming off of that win, and you looked really dominant out there?
I mean, it feels good. Like I said, I haven't done too well in the MCS era. My peak, my success was a little bit before that, where Madden kind of went underground.
Yeah.
I still consider myself one of the best. I just haven't proved it on these stages.
Yeah.
At my peak, like I said, good game to that kid, though, man. He reminded me a lot of myself. He was, about my age when I peaked. So, like I said, Madden went underground. So me being back here, I mean, trying to, share some of the success everybody else is having. So.
I mean, that's an amazing feeling to kind of come back full circle, see somebody who's following your footsteps as well. I mean, taking a look back, what does your experience now, having gone through that, help in these moments heading into the finals?
I mean, like I said, it's different now. I mean, back then, like you said, a lot of stuff was hitting, a lot of stuff you didn't know. So when you showed up to a tournament, you could get caught off guard with different things. I think in this era, everything's out and open. Most people know exactly what to expect.
Right.
So I guess with them, the kind of nerves and stuff, maybe not be as well as it was before.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this stuff is just repetition now. I mean, you've seen everything, you know everything. So you come prepared, and it's not really much that's going to catch you off guard. So.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Well, at 23-21, you had a huge play that set up, obviously, kind of sealing the deal for the game. Take us through what that moment was, that long pass, that play action.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I noticed that, I'm known as a passer. Most people expect that, so I try to establish the run a bit. I seen that he was playing on his safety. I don't have identifier, but I could see him moving with his safety. So a lot of times with that, I figured he might be respecting the run or some of the intermediate routes.
Yeah.
And that's a good backside route that I like to use when they're cheating on that safety that gets open deep. So I figured it was a good time to go back to it. It was open a few times earlier in the game for me. So.
All right, well, we know you want to move farther than this. This isn't the end of the road for you. Quick thoughts about the next semifinal. AKG, Don't Care About Ice. Anything that you've noticed about those guys, looking forward to potentially playing one of them in your next match?
I mean, I don't know much about Ice. He's a cool kid. I've chatted with him a few times. AKG's a cool kid, too. We've played a bit on the ladders. We do have a bit of history. He did stop me, I think it was about 2 years ago or so, from getting to the finals. We played the final get-in game, and he had a bit of words with that. So it'll be good to kind of meet him in the finals and get some revenge with that. So.
All right, we'll see if it happens. Obviously, you're there. We'll have to wait and see if he makes it as well. Evil Ken, congratulations on getting to the finals. Let's head over to Nick for some more highlights.
What a first semifinal we had, as we see how Evil Ken was able to take down Fresh NYC. We start out with a surprise. Tony Pollard with a big touchdown run.
Yeah, right there. Troy Polamalu getting blocked, that last line of defense, and next thing you know, he was just out of there.
Now, we saw this a couple times. Phillip Rivers outside of the pocket, and he's got Donald Driver over the top. You might see a couple more people with that Donald Driver item as he finds Driver one more time back in the end zone.
Yeah, that Donald Driver ate for him today. I believe he had 2 or 3 touchdowns and a lot of deep passes. He was just eating all game long.
The story of this game, Pavin, really the balance from Evil Ken. Couldn't really key in on whether he was going to run or pass the ball.
Yeah, if you committed to the run, he was going to pass. If he committed to the pass, he was going to run. That was the story of the game 100%.
Fresh NYC ever get a big play over the top to stay in this one. Randy Moss on the deep post.
Yeah, and look for Andrew Luck on a lot of people's teams now. He's really great at making those crossbody throws and those throws on the run.
But this one, the sealer. How about Donald Driver one more time? NYC able to close in with Tony Pollard on the wheel route.
Yeah, that wheel route is a staple in the gun bunch. Backside wheel route is always going to get open versus a lot of coverages.
It was only a 2-point game when Evil Ken dialed up Driver one more time.
Yeah, and that was for the ball game. An absolute savage throw. I don't know. I wouldn't have honestly thrown that, and, you know, it shows right there. He got it done. He got that safety on that play. Great game overall.
Yeah, he locked it down, and here is your bracket. Evil Ken taking out Fresh NYC. One more semifinal to come. For more on that, let's throw it over to Evan Rayner.
All right, thanks, Nick. We have one Madden Pro through to the Jets finals, and it's the 29-year-old Evil Ken. When we come back, it's a juicy rematch from last year's Jets Club Finals. 2-time defending champion Don't Care About Ice goes head-to-head with Jets championship mainstay AKG. We set the finals when we return for the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship.
It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'm a boy, I want for the set. Boy, until there's nothing left. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the jet.
How many of y'all came to win?
Never not on my grind. New York City time. The brother better, you will never find. Reporting live from the winter side. Great they try, keep a different vibe. It's you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do, lace up the shoes, chase up the rings. What I do.
Looking to throw. He's letting it Juju. And he's got it.
Now what I do, lace up the shoes, chase up the rules. Hit beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, break colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few, can't match this attitude. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me.
1/3 of the NFL has crowned a Madden 20 champion, and with it, named their rep for the upcoming NFL Club Championship. Once again, the AFC East is ready to crash this Madden party. This time with the New York Jets, Jets. Don't care about ice. The Jets' two-time defending champ has his eyes set on a three-peat, but his competition may have other ideas. 4 Madden pros have made the trip to the EA studios to make the Jets roster as its Madden 20 champion, but only one can advance. It's the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship. Who will make the final cut? High above the EA campus in the San Francisco Bay Area, we glide into our second hour of our Madden 20 Club competitive action featuring the New York Jets. It's here 32 finalists from each of the NFL clubs will return for the NFL Club Championship and that $700,000 prize pool. Welcome back once again inside the EA broadcast studios as we inch closer to the finals of the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship Finals. Welcome. For those just joining us, great to have you with us. And for all those Jets fans in the chat, a hearty JETS. Hello to you as well. We'll move quickly to the second semifinal in just a moment. I'm Evan Rayner. We made a roster change on the desk, sliding in to call our next match. Two-time major winner Serious Mo and the voice of Madden competitive Scott Cole. Gentlemen, great day we're having here with the New York Jets.
Yeah, absolutely. Great start to the day. I'm always rooting for the old heads in my head, in my mind. So I like seeing the old head get it done. And he looked just as good on offense as I expected him to. Defense was a little shaky. He couldn't really get the stops. He was putting him in some tough positions, but wasn't able to get the stops until late in the game.
Yeah.
But I was happy. That was a great game. It was kind of refreshing. We haven't seen either of those styles played very often, so it was a really good game to see.
I mean, Ice is back again, trying to do it for the third time. He's sort of the Joe Namath of this thing. I mean, he likes to call his shots. He likes to talk a big game. And if he can get big plays, he can build on that. It's like a snowball effect with him. Once he starts rolling, he's really hard to stop.
Definitely a lot of favorites in this matchup. As we get mentioned, we will get you set for the second semifinal shortly. But first, for those just dropping in, here's the format for the individual club championships. The winner of the Jets final advances to the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship. In the semifinals, the top seed of Xbox faces the lower seed of the PS4 pool and vice versa. We are playing much salary cap, so roster building is key. This week, players have been competing on the latest Madden 20 patch. Prize pool-wise, $6,500 goes to today's winner, plus the chance to win $100,000 later next month. All right, let's talk a little bit about this tournament format. Obviously, you're a major winner. You know what it's like to go through these types of environments. What stands out to you as the most important aspect of this?
Building your roster, it's really, really difficult. I haven't had much success in this tournament at all throughout the years. But this is the best mode. This is the mode where you consider we crown the best player. You know what I mean? So the roster construction is really difficult. You're going to see people run out with no abilities. You're going to see people run out with a team full of abilities, with the max of 6, I believe it is. And that's the cool part to me. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it is extremely nerdy, but it's what we live for. You know what I mean? Like as Madden pros or as somebody that's trying to pursue this thing, you need to get in and start playing salary cap because it's not easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is the leaderboard where it is going to be the toughest. You are going to play the best players. So that would be my favorite thing is building the roster.
And both these guys are really good at salary cap. I mean, you saw in the last game, you make a mistake and think Troy Apke can stop the deep pass. You want to save cap and put a player like that out there. You saw him get burned. If you spend a bit more cap, maybe put Deion Sanders back there at safety. Those passes are going to be picked off. So when you're building your team, it's risk reward.
Absolutely.
If you want to go balanced, you're maybe not good at anything. So with both these guys being passers, I expect to see a lot of receivers out there. But of course, someone could call an audible last minute and go, "Hey, I'm going to go all Clinton Portis." So we'll have to see.
Great thoughts, guys. Let's turn back to the business at hand. And the Jets bracket. In the first semifinal, it was Evil Ken taking down Fresh NYC. And coming up, we have the much-anticipated rematch of last year's final between AKG and Don't Care About Ice. Before we turn to that second semifinal, let's revisit the victory earlier by Evil Ken to advance to the Jets final. Scott?
Yeah, I thought a big point in this game was both guys were getting scores, but it came down to these two-point conversions. I was really proud of Fresh not chasing the points, but putting in those extra points, getting those 2-point conversions, Mo, were really the difference.
Yeah, and Ken actually went for 2 even after he had got the first one, so he tried to make it a 2-possession game. It ended up working out for him. Normally, I like to just go up by 8 and make your opponent eventually have to chase those points, but going for it and getting it made it to where it didn't matter, and he was always up 2 possessions.
Yeah, once they got to a 9-point game, it was really hard for Fresh to get back in that one. So Evil Ken coming in looking good, and he's going to have the opportunity to take on one of these guys and maybe get a revenge if it's AKG.
Yeah, he sounded excited. He sounded like he wanted AKG a little bit, and you know that's how us old guys are. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you want beef? Like let's get it going. You know what I mean? Let's play. I want to battle all night. So it's like, I can definitely see where he's coming from. I've been there, you know what I mean? I've definitely taken some losses and been like, man, I can't wait to play that guy again, you know? And I think that's exactly what it is.
He got 13% on the vote. Do you really think he deserves that? Should he be higher up in your mind?
Absolutely. I mean, this guy is a legend.
Where'd you put him?
We're talking about one of the top 10, top 15 players of all time. You know what I mean? You know, all these guys are great players. You know, this is like a field of 4 that all had a chance. And, you know, AKG and Ice, they've been in the finals. They've played each other a ton. So, I mean, it's tough to take away from them, you know what I mean? But I definitely, 10% is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Toughest thing to do in sports is win 3 straight, and we'll see if Ice can do it here.
All right, going to be interesting. All right, before we get to our next semifinal, we mentioned the prize pool, but our Jets champion will also receive this sweet Authentic Jets helmet signed by Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. Very cool and appropriate item to serve as the Jets Madden 20 Club Championship trophy. We once again want to say a special thank you to the Jets for providing that trophy and the support that they're showing. Okay, we are moments away from our second semifinal featuring AKG and Don't Care About Ice. I want a quick thought on this big matchup. We've all been looking forward to this. Don't Care About Ice, trying to go for that 2-time into the 3-time.
Exactly. I think this matchup this year actually kind of favors AKG. You know,
really?
Yeah, because he switched crews. He's been labbing with them EMB guys. Them EMB guys, they are prepared. You know, that's one thing about them, and that's another thing. They ride together. They have him ready to play Ice. You know, they probably don't have him ready to play anybody except for Ice. You know, they've probably been talking about it for months. So I'm going to give the edge to AKG in that aspect. But Ice obviously has the mental over him, you know what I mean? He's kind of owned him over the last few years, especially last year when you could consider Ice kind of got lucky in that game. AKG dropped a huge pass with Moss, like down the stretch, and I know AKG feels like if he caught that, the game would have been over. He would have won the game. But, you know, stuff happens, and you got to rebound, so I'm excited.
I go back to my earlier point. The key to this game is momentum. You can't allow Ice to get these plays and keep going and going and going. Next thing you know, you find yourself down 28 points.
All right, well, the table is set. Scott and Serious Mo, they'll be on the call. It's the Jets' second semifinal, and it is a big one. AKG making his 3rd straight Final Four appearance at the Jets Club, and his opponent is the 2-time defending champion Don't Care About Ice. Let's kick it over to Scott and Serious Mo for the call.
Well, this is a much anticipated semifinal number 2, and let's get to know our competitors here in the second one. You see AKG, he's been here 3 straight times, this time trying to get it done. He's from the Boogie Town Bronx, 22 years old, and you know, he's good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the more balanced players we've seen in this tournament as far as ranking goes. And I also noticed looking at his roster, he's not using that escape artist or that hot route master. So I'm excited to see how he can play offense. It's a little bit tough when you don't have one of those abilities.
Well, let's go over to Don't Care About Ice. The youngster feels like he's been playing forever, but he's still on the younger side of Madden at 20 years old from Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. That has greatness written all over it, and you see that offensive ranked. He's in the top 16 in throwing the rock.
And something to say about Ice is he loves this tournament. This is the one tournament where he's had true success in. He feels like he feels like he's the Jets champion. You know what I mean? He feels like he's supposed to come and win this tournament every year.
Don't Care About Ice beat lights out in the winner's bracket to get here. AKG looking to finally get over the hump. Can he do so? Who is going to represent the New York Jets in the final to face Evil Ken? We'll put 20 minutes on the clock and find out as we kick it away here in the second semifinal, and AKG is going to get it first. He'll bring it out of his own end zone with Peterson, and he gets a little bit away. Here's those abilities right here for AKG.
Yeah, I love to see the jukebox on Clinton Portis, especially when I seen the no ability on his quarterback. That was a little scary for me, but seeing that jukebox on Clinton Portis makes me feel good.
On the other side, Don't Care About Ice. Mike Vick's going to be using the escape artist, and there's a slot apprentice for Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, so we've seen Blocky miss a lot of throws with that Lamar Jackson escape artist. This Vick isn't going to be missing those throws. This Vick is the best quarterback in the game.
A lot of cap.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're going in on Vick, you're going all in. And we'll see if he can bring some of that Madden magic. Here's they set their audibles. Looks like we're ready to go in this pivotal semifinal game with Evil Ken waiting in the wings. AKG will be in the white uniforms with the green pants, and Ice will be in the green tops with the white pants. And they hand it off to Clinton Portis, and he's tackled right there by Lawrence Taylor securely.
I think we're going to see AKG go to this sweep a lot because he's running this West Coast playbook, but he has no escape artist. It's really, really difficult to run this playbook if you don't have the escape artist, but he sneaks in Clinton Portis back there. Look for him to get sticky with Clinton Portis in open field.
2nd and 8 after the gain of only 2. I want to say a happy Friday to those out there that have been rocking with us all through this Madden Club Championship. Rogers, quick throw. There's Ross, misses a man. And he's going to find the sideline at the 38-yard line. Quick gain of 14.
Yeah, phenomenal stick work right there. Probably should have been a gain of about 3 or 4. AKG makes a miss, picks up 15 yards. And, you know, something I noticed right there, he ran that play called wide receiver post and motioned over a slant. In my opinion, that is the best play in this game.
So that'll be a 1st and 10 now. Rogers in the gun for AKG. And that's the wild thing. He's got Clinton Portis to get it done on the ground, and then he's got a lot of talent on the outside. And Rogers can't get away from Clowney. What a block shed, just bullying his way in there.
And Clowney's going to do that to you, and that's the thing. That's where having that escape artist is really good. You can get out the pocket, throw the ball away. He's just kind of stuck right there with Aaron Rodgers and has to take the sack.
So now push him back 10, and then back-to-back tackles for loss. Actually going to say he got half a yard there. 3rd and 19.
I'd really like to see Ice drop in coverage here. You never have to worry about the scramble for 19 yards without escape artists. Just drop in coverage.
AKG here on 3rd down. We'll go to Ross. Ross will put on the speed, but Troy Apke will wrap him up after a gain of 15. Here comes a big 4th and short.
I know he didn't pick up the 1st down, but that's a win for AKG. You know what I mean? He was expecting to have to punt in this situation 100%. He doesn't have that escape artist. He's not spending a ton of cap on offense other than that running back. So he was probably expecting to have to punt here, and to get into a 4th and manageable is a win for sure.
No way. A lot of AKG fans. Ice certainly a polarizing player in the Madden community. You either love him or you're hoping AKG gets the win here. Kind of like Duke basketball. That's the only way I can put it. 4th and 3. And there is Harrison. We'll pull it in at the 36.
And we've seen AKG shaking his head. That was like him complimenting himself. You know, like, I ain't missing that. You know what I mean? I'm not missing that. And I would like to see Ice. I would like to see Ice drop in coverage. I really like to run coverage versus these non-mobile quarterbacks. Not to say Aaron Rodgers isn't mobile, but he doesn't have escape artists, so it's really difficult to get out of the pocket.
Especially with the 2 edge rushers he has. As there is Jadeveon once again, his 2nd sack of the ball game.
And both times Ice has dropped in coverage, he sacked him almost immediately with that Jadeveon Clowney.
Former Gamecock putting in some work here early in this one. 2nd and 18 behind the chains again. Portis makes one miss, but Troy Apke coming in from the free safety position to make the tackle.
And it looked like AKG could have maybe cut that up a little bit earlier and picked up 6 to 8 yards. Instead, he tried to go outside. We'll go for the big gain, and Ice got the block shed. A little bit easier of a tackle there. Brings up a much more difficult situation.
Yeah, it needs about 7 yards to get in field goal range. We'll see he does here on 3rd and 16. Bunch formation to the left.
He's going for it all.
And he will check it down to Ross. Ross gets in the field goal range, gets a little more, 1st down.
Sticky.
Working inside the red zone all the way to the 14.
That was sticky, Scott. And, you know, once again, it looked like that was a play where he should have got 6 yards, ends up getting 25. You know, those are the difference in games. Like, if you're Ice, you just got to sit down and make a tackle, force your opponent to kick a field goal.
You really get that up. Oh, man.
AKG clowning here at the end of the 1st. He's going to have to run a play here. I talked about that momentum for Ice. I mean, when it goes well, it builds them up. When it goes the opposite direction, it has the same effect.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I can really appreciate that patience that AKG showed on that play. It's really easy to just throw the ball away there. He kind of bought some time for himself with that Aaron Rodgers playmakered him. realized he was maybe going to for sure get the field goal, and then makes a move inside, ends up picking up the first down. Just a great play.
Waning seconds here, the first in a scoreless ball game, but AKG on the move. And he'll stretch it out to Portis. Can't get a block, but he does pick up 3 at the end of 1. AKG 0, Ice 0. As we move to the second of the 5-minute quarters here in the first half. Scott Cole, Serious Mo hanging out with you on a beautiful Friday here in San Francisco. We'll say hello to all those Jets fans. Been to MetLife plenty of times. It's tremendous atmosphere. They love their Jets. That's all I'll tell you. They love those Jets. 2nd and 7. And he'll hand it off to Portis. Portis with a little move.
Run.
Still gets 2. I mean, even looks like when he's met at the line of scrimmage, he gets something.
It looked like he juked one too many times there. It looked like he juked out the first guy, got caught on his lineman's back, excuse me, and then he kind of panicked and juked again, when I think if he would have just relaxed for a second, he would have slipped in there like we seen from that Bo Jackson a few times yesterday.
Needs 5 here on 3rd down. They'll mark the ball at the 9-yard line. And here comes the second play of the quarter. Brings the bunch out.
We see a lot of players go to that mesh post concept in this situation and look for the running back or the post on the outside bunch side.
You're running. You're running. You're running.
Got to get to the 4-yard line. Handed to Portis.
Come on.
I said he was running. He was right. 6 carries for 7 yards. Ew.
All right.
Yeah. AKG didn't do a very good job of hiding it there. He audibled right away. So he audibled right before he ran the ball. So it was a little bit obvious that he wasn't making hot routes. That's why Ice was able to realize that he was running the ball. But if you're AKG, that drive is a win. You probably should have got stopped at no points in that drive.
This is where it gets funny.
And Ice just played pretty bad defense in a few situations. But that was a fine drive for AKG. You know, I love getting points on my first drive and working through it going forward.
AKG super excited to run that defense out there that he spent a lot of cap on. And this is the first time Ice will see the football. That was a long opening drive, taking up 6 minutes. So Ice will set his audibles here, trying to be a 3-time champ. He's won 10 grand over his career, doing most of his damage inside the club championship. He's got 26 wins. If you do the math, 26 wins, 10 grand, that tells you he really needs to move on to the round of 32 to try to up those career winnings.
Yeah, 26 wins and only 10,000. It's kind of unlucky in the MCS era. You know, that's a lot of wins for just $10,000. And all that tells me is he's done a lot of his winning in the club championship, because there's a lot of online play. There's a lot more games to be played than there are at the Classic or the Madden Bowl or even the Madden Challenge. There we go. Had to work through that one.
The one you haven't won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, was 16 the challenge?
Oh, 16 was the challenge.
It was the challenge. I take it all back. 1st and 10. That's the one major I didn't call, so I sort of put it out of my mind. I think Skimbo has too.
Yeah, I need to get that Madden championship out of the way, though, man. That's the big one.
This shit is so sleepy.
I don't think Problem's going to give you that belt. You might have to call B. I think you got to call B to get that belt back. 3-0 in the first quarter in this one. And Ice with the ball for the first time. 2nd and 9. Michael Vick experience time.
And before this drive started, AKG was excited to be on defense. He said, this is where it gets fun. And I love that. You know, as a defensive player, I love when players are confident on defense. We don't see it a lot in the Madden community.
And there is Torrey Holt. And you're not going to see a lot of deep throws here from Ice, who's won it back-to-back in 18 and 19.
The only person who's ever represented the Jets. That's saying something.
They've only had one club champion. It's been this youngster right here as he gives it to Marvin Harrison. There's some goons in that secondary, so you're going to have to kind of dink and dunk against this defense.
And that's exactly what AKG's thought process was when he didn't go with the escape artist. He's saving a ton of cap there. Gonna get the goons on defense, and this is where he wants to win the game, is on defense.
I mean, you got Palomalu in prime time as your safeties. And they'll hand it off to the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye, and he gets a yard.
And I love, if I'm AKG, I love when my opponents waste plays going into these formations. When they're great passers, I love when they take away from themselves and start running the ball out of these near formations where they're almost guaranteed to only get a few yards.
That was Fletcher Cox and Telvin Smith on the tackle. That'll bring up another 2nd and long as we hit the 2-minute warning already. I was warning everybody, man, we got passers all over the place. This Jets might take a while. But all 4 of our competitors have been very patient on offense. 2nd and 9. Moss, little motion, keeps him in the block. Buys time with Vic, and he'll slide down. They'll mark him at the 48-yard line.
And that was just phenomenal user there by AKG. Took away the corner route for as long as he could, and then ran back to the post.
It's like,
and AKG will talk to the admin. Heard a little bit about controller setup. Something that he doesn't like. And we're gonna have a big 3rd and 6 incoming.
And this is the difference, you know, when Ice wasted that fullback dive, ran that fullback dive, gets himself to a 2nd and 9, instead of just passing the ball, he could be at 3rd and 2 or even picked up the 1st down. When you're a passer and you're spinning all that cap on Michael Vick, I would like to just see you sit back and air out the ball.
Well, we got a moment. Let's listen into these players as we got them wired up.
Come on!
You really get that up.
You're running. You're running. You're running.
You got Vic to run there. Vic to run there. Yikes.
And that's the ins and outs of Madden football. Chess match on the field. AKG, I mean, only got 3 points on that opening drive, but looks really confident here on defense.
Absolutely, and I can tell he's trying to get in Ice's head a little bit. You know, you got Michael Vick to run near. You know, that's something I would say. You know, I'm really saying, please keep running near. You know, please keep wasting these downs. You know, because AKG doesn't want him passing the ball with Michael Vick. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want him to be able to scramble with Michael Vick. It's much better when Michael Vick's just handing off the ball.
If you're Evil Kin back there, I know you want AKG for a revenge factor. But I think he'd rather face don't care about Ice's defense than this AKG.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, AKG has all of them defensive backs. But one thing I will say is he has all them defensive backs, but Evil Kin's in a 2 tight end formation, so he's going to be able to run the ball a little bit easier, you'd think.
All right, they got everything ironed out. Something to do with the controller setup for AKG, and we're back at it here on 3rd down. Something he didn't like about his setup. Coming up on 90 seconds to go in the half. Both players with all 3 timeouts as Torrey Holt motions out. And Vic can't get rid of it. That Jadavion has been everywhere.
AKG's having some fun up there. You know, I love to see that. But I will say that was phenomenal, Lurk. He pretended like he was going to go guard the streak. He had no intentions of ever guarding the streak. When people send out that running back on the wheel route, that's all they want to throw to, and he knows that.
Portis able to get a little bit on the return. Ball at the 25. 78 seconds to go in the half. And he'll have all 3 timeouts to work with. You get a touchdown here. That'd be huge for AKG.
Especially when he has those defensive backs. Those guys are not going to be getting open downfield.
Portis finally gets to the edge. Gets by Apke and then forced out of bounds at the 29. That'll stop the clock. Actually use the timeout. They're going to say that was tackled inbounds. And he has to use the first of those 3 timeouts.
Yeah, pretty fortunate play there for AKG. He tried to stay in bounds, it looked like, with Clinton Portis, but the defenders pushed him out of bounds. And this is also going to give AKG a little bit of time to get Clinton Portis back from tired, because he was beaten red after he had the punt return and then ran the ball with him.
So AKG here on 2nd down. Last thing you want to do is give the ball back to Ice. Chance maybe tie this thing up before the half.
Yeah, this needs to be the last drive of the half, 100% if you're AKG.
They give him 4 yards on 1st down. Rogers in the gun here for AKG. Looking downfield, and he can't throw it away.
Why are you spinning? Throw the ball away.
You see that sometimes where you don't get far enough outside the pocket and they turn back the other way and can't get rid of it. 3rd and 20. Gets it out to McDonald. And it'll be a second timeout coming in for Ice. Forces a 4th and 14. He'll have to punt it
you just held me down,
back
bro.
to the youngster.
And what happened on that second down, AKG was trying to get Clinton Portis back energized, and what happened was he had to come out and play and just snap it. He was extremely uncomfortable and ends up taking a sack.
Here's Garrett Sayers.
He's got some space. Oh my goodness.
Kansas Comet.
You got to take that outside there.
AKG starting to talk to himself now.
It looked like AKG might have had a 10 cap chasing Gale Sayers, and if he would have just taken that outside, he would have got much more yards.
One of the best return guys in the history of the NFL. 1st and 10. 50 seconds, 1 timeout here for Ice. It's been a low-scoring affair here in the first half. Vic buys some time. He'll throw it deep. AP can't get there. Dandy Moss is in for 6.
And I thought that pass was going to get intercepted. I thought Patrick Peterson would have got back there and made a play, but Ice throwing that at the perfect time. I'm sure he's ran that route hundreds of thousands of times. You know, just really good timing on that route. Looked like it was going to get picked off, but that's why he's a great passer.
Well, you play great defense all first half. Then you give up a 61-yard bomb to Randy Moss. And just like that, the 2-time champ has the lead. Peterson will take it out of his own end zone after getting toasted. And he'll bring it out to the 25. Look at it again, Mo.
It looked like he had Patrick Peterson in a deep half, but he just wasn't able to get there because he was pressed against the line of scrimmage. Just a great play. Not the best defense from AKG. I wouldn't have been playing that dangerous of defense with only a minute left in half, so just a little bit of a questionable play call really on defense.
Rogers throws. He's got Torrey Holt. And the former NC State Wolfpack will take it to the 48, and here's a timeout.
Great patience there by AKG. I know how badly he wanted to throw it deep to that post, but it was double covered. Throws the dig at the perfect time, picks up 20 yards.
Gotta be careful you don't find yourself getting up more points before the half, and he'll just throw it away.
Absolutely. That is always really scary in those situations when there is only 45 seconds. It's really hard to not give your opponent the ball back. It's really difficult to just not turn it over in those situations because it's like the clock's working against you. You feel like you have to get points, and that's where a lot of players make mistakes.
Remember, Ice will start with it first in the 3rd quarter. Rogers.
Look for RB late.
Looked like he might have thrown that to X. It's in no man's land, and it'll fall to the turf with 17 seconds to go now in the half.
And this is a crucial 3rd and 10. He absolutely needs to get this 3rd and 10.
Motions out Holt. Looking. And he'll force it in right over King.
So
he'll use a timeout, and you got to kick your 3.
Grateful to kick his 3. You know, he couldn't be any more excited. Was not supposed to get points before half right there. Not a very good throw. Comes down with it in traffic, though, and we got a 1-point game.
Was a hot one right over the head of King. And now we got a 48-yard field goal. It's up, and it's good. 1-point game now with 5 seconds remaining in the half.
Bro, just get 7. I swear to God he wants to. Just get 7. Swear.
There's Christian Okoye.
Give me that.
And we'll have 2 seconds. He's forced out of bounds at the 26.
Probably just see Gale Sayers get the ball here. A little stretch maybe. I don't like AKG coming out on 3-4 odd to in the half though. This is a little bit scary.
And they will hand it off to Sayers. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, but will be gathered up at the 29-yard line, and that's how the first half will come to a close. 7-6.
I didn't expect it to be that low scoring at all. I thought we would see some fireworks in that first half.
They're going to face Evil Ken. He is waiting in the players' lounge to find out, will it be Ice or will it be AKG, the guy in his post-game interview that he certainly wanted a shot at.
And you know, if you're Evil Ken, this is kind of a really good situation for you. Both guys are running very similar offenses, so you're really preparing for one person. They're both running very similar gun bunch formation, West Coast playbook. The only difference is AKG has a running back with ability, and Ice has that quarterback with the ability, Michael Vick.
Well, here we go. Second half action here in semifinal number 2. And Ice is going to get a start with it. as AKG will kick it off. 10 minutes left in the ball game as Christian Okoye will field it at his own 15. He takes it past the 30-yard line, and they'll mark him down at the 33. That's where the drive will begin.
And, you know, we see a lot of people use that Michael Pruitt, only 14 cap at the tight end. Not Ice. Ice is running out the best tight end you can. He's actually a fullback, but he's really fast. He can truck. Just going to be such a difference maker if he's able to get him in the flats open. And even versus clouds, he's going to try to truck the clouds and get up the field. We don't see that a lot.
So 1st and 10 for the 20-year-old out of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And he'll hand it off to Gale Sayers. The Kansas Cop
bad stick.
will lose a few yards.
I just
lost
don't like
3.
I just don't like seeing Ice run the ball. I really don't. It kind of digs at me. It makes me cringe a little bit because he's just so poor with his vision in the open field. But when he's passing the ball, he's making all the right reaches. Stick with the pass. You're a great passer. And here we go again. He got him.
Torrey Holt and overthrew him just a little bit. Looked like he might have been able to run for 22.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's saying. I could have ran. You know, I thought he had him. You know, and that's why I don't pass the ball. Because that looked like it should have been picked after it was all said and done.
You're more of a Ezekiel Elliott armbar kind of guy.
Yeah, get it up the middle. Let Zeke fight a little bit. You know, play some defense. Don't make it too tough on yourself, kid.
And we're going to have a stoppage in play here. And it's AKG that'll use a costly timeout here early in the 3rd.
And a lot of people are against using that timeout, but this is such a big play in the game. You got to think there was only, what, 4 possessions in that first half? If you're able to get a stop in one of those, it changes the game entirely.
So 3rd and 13 here from the 31-yard line.
We're going to see AKG blitz 7 guys here. Here they come.
Here come the Heat. Vic trying to get away, and he'll throw it away. And here comes a 4th and 13.
What's up with this controller, bro?
And he's going to get his boot out. What a stop coming out of the locker room.
Absolutely. I thought AKG would blitz 7. He actually got caught at the line of scrimmage with Deion Sanders, so we just ended up blitzing him, ended up sending 8 guys, and the pressure got there, luckily.
Portis will take it out to the 36. There's got to be someone else on that punt return team. I don't like when you're a runner. I mean, I guess I don't know what he is. Is he running? Is he passing? I mean, he's been sort of balanced.
I feel like when you spend 100 of your 825 cap on a running back, you're a runner.
Well, here he is, Portis. Maybe should have taken it to the numbers. It was just him and Wilson. He'll pick up the first down near midfield.
Yeah, I would have just ran directly at Brandon Wilson there, made him chase me, and then try to juke him out. Don't juke back into everybody. Just go to the open field until you can't no more, and then juke.
It's a questionable run stick in the 2nd semifinal. Of course, AKG representing the Bronx, 22 years old. He's won $5 grand in his Madden career. 16 wins, 13 losses. And a lot of them coming here in the semifinals with the New York Jets. Rodgers and Aaron will take off and slide down at the 45. That's a quick 6.
I know you guys at home are probably wondering why AKG's flipping through all these different formations when he's just coming out in that gun bunch. What he's doing is, you'll see Clinton Portis go yellow, go red. What he's doing is he's buying time for Clinton Portis to become healthy again, so he doesn't risk fumbling, and he's still able to juke at that elite level.
So 2nd and 4, AKG on the move. He was semifinalist with the Bills, and then runner-up last year in Madden 19. Of course, in Madden 18, he was part of this Final Four once again for the Jets. So he's certainly been a staple. As they hand it off to Clinton Portis. Portis makes a man miss, gets outside Wilson. Will he turn on the Jets? 10-5, touchdown.
Great stick work there by AKG. He finally ran to the open field and then juked. And that's exactly what you need to do when you got that jukebox. You need to wait for it to be a one-on-one situation. I would really like AKG to just not go for 2 here. I think it's a really poor decision because your opponent's almost never going to take 6 minutes off.
Well, here's a 2-point conversion, trying to make it a 7-point lead here with 2:43 to go. Rodgers.
Got him.
Low throw. Torrey will hold on, and the 2-point conversion's good.
Dot. I swear, you get stopped here, you lose. Do not get stopped. You're losing.
And it looked like AKG actually chose a random play right there. He actually came out and like spread just because of the coach suggestions. and it ended up working out for him. I think he didn't even want to go for 2, but then he was just out there and he's like,
that ball out.
oh, I'll bolt a bunch. I'll draw something up.
Well, here's a look at the touchdown one more time. Able to juke out, and then Wilson's not going to catch him.
Yeah, Clinton Porter's just way too fast for those DBs that Ice is running out there. And Ice has to run out those poor DBs because he's spending all that cap on offense. So it makes it really tough if you're not able to score every single drive. You have to be able to score every single drive if you're going to run out all this cap on offense.
And then after the 2-point conversion, he hit him with the ellipses. Dot, dot, dot.
And we just continue to see Ice waste plays to start his drives. You know, he's really put himself in the hole almost every single drive just trying to get a free one, but it's just not working. You need to just air it out. You're a great passer. Win yourself the game doing what you came here to do.
I mean, I love seeing Gale Sayers touch the football, but not for Ice, as there's Torrey Holt.
Oh, you want to get lucky.
He's been a big factor.
Okay.
The 7-time Pro Bowler will pick up the first down. Part of the greatest show on turf.
Bro, I have an ad
there for the
right
Rams.
Oh, my God.
1st and 10. Boy, no safety help as he hands it off.
That's bad call.
Every first down, he just wastes it. It's either 2nd 10, 2nd 11, 2nd and 15 now. It's like, just air it out. You're passing the ball successfully, and you're putting yourself in tricky situations when you run the ball.
You got hit with the be easy. 2nd and 17. Under 75 seconds to go here in the 3rd. Ice. It's got a tall task here on 2nd down.
2nd and 17, all because he ran the ball.
Drops it off to Christian Okoye, gets a block. But what a shed there by Ward, able to get off of it and make the tackle.
That was actually really good stick work there by AKG. That easily could have been a 20-yard gain. That could have easily been a 20-yard gain.
He's so nervous. Oh, man.
3rd and 7. Winner will face Evil Ken coming up next. Vic, here comes the blitz. Quick throw. Troy with the hit. And he can't get the tip drill.
Bro.
And one thing I'm seeing from AKG that is even more impressed from last year, his user is way better on defense. Can we talk about how he just took away a wheel route on the left side of the field and
send them dogs at him.
And a little tiny curl on the right side? I mean, that's almost impossible to do. Just great bait there, even with that Troy Polamalu, doesn't have the best speed.
Vic, can he pick up the blitz? He'll step and throw. Torrey Holt's got to get there. He will. He's got a lot of space. They won't catch him. And Torrey Holt pinning the PAT has tied us up. I don't like my guy pausing after touchdowns.
I have no idea why.
He's like, every time I blitz, they score touchdowns on me. What's up with that? The admin can't give you any help.
Every time I blitz, they scored. Oh man, yeah, it looked like he got caught up in a bad defense right there, and he tried to dive and stop him from making the first down, and he had no chance of making that tackle. He should have just wrapped him up. Gives Ice a free touchdown, and when Ice is really kind of struggling on offense, you can't do that.
Looks like it's confidence. Maybe got a little shaken there on that last play. A good craftsman never blames his tools, but certainly could make the stop as Torrey Holt picked up the first down, and then he was gonzo.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this is a situation where we would like to see AKG call this out in the first quarter. You know, if his controller's having a little bit of trouble, you know, it's not a very good look after you wait till you had your opponent to 4th and 10 and then give it up. You know what I mean? It just looks a little silly.
Longtime Madden player and longtime admin Justin Chow out to talk to AKG. Certainly Chow's been in these situations many times, but I just don't like a guy pause it after the. I mean, I guess you got to pause now if you're. I mean, they're not going to call this touchdown back. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, this touchdown's 100% going to stand. This touchdown's 100% going to stand. Maybe AKG just wants to swap out controllers. You know, he just doesn't feel comfortable with that controller, which is fine. But that touchdown, of course, has to stand.
Are you a bring your own controller from home kind of guy, or you pick up something that's on the rack when you come in?
I normally try to bum off my friends because I always forget the controller. You know, I'm like such a laid back guy. It's just like when I get out here, bringing my controller is just not the thing that's on my mind. And then afterwards, if the controller malfunctions, I have somebody else to blame. It's just a good feeling.
Remember, he was complaining about his controller in the first half, so now he's going to change it out. See if that changes this game as we got a point after touchdown coming up here for Ice to tie us up at 14 apiece. And if AKG had been playing for a long time, I'd say it was a bit of gamemanship. You know, maybe take a little bit of the momentum out, but certainly he was concerned. We're tied at 14 after 6 plays, 72 yards, and Ice is back at it.
And the good thing about this is if you're AKG is all you need to do is have one good drive here. If you're able to get points on this drive, there's a very good chance you win this game. So it's still 0-0 with only a 1 quarter left to play. You're driving the bus.
This is a rematch of last year's Jets Club Championship, where Ice took home his 2nd title. He's trying to make it 3 in a row. AKG is trying to get there for the first time. If he can win this one and then beat Evil Ken, who kind of called out AKG in his post-game interview saying, that's the guy I want. He wants a revenge game in the final. 14-14. 14 seconds to go here in the 3rd. Here's AKG, will go the air. And just an accurate pass to Ross, who's really been a bright spot for him.
It looked like AKG threw that in the right window, but the pressure just came at him and forced that inaccurate throw.
So that brings up a 2nd and 10. Rodgers moving in the pocket, throwing to Torrey Holt. What pocket presence to pick up the first down.
Scott, that was nasty. I don't know how he did that, and that's why I don't sit back there and drop back unless I got that escape artist. I need to be able to just run. That pressure looked like it was going to be a free sack. AKG picks up, puts his running back in position to block the guy blitzing from the opposite side of the running back. Steps up, throws a perfect throw.
Breaking news, Aaron Rodgers is good as Portis runs over. I haven't seen a lot of trucking.
I'm trying to juke. Why is he trucking? Bro.
We haven't seen Clinton Portis truck very many times this weekend. But I think the first time, and it worked successfully.
2nd and 7. 4:30 to go in the ball game. They're in our 2nd semifinal. Portis couldn't juke away there.
Want to juke like, yo, bro.
Looked like he might have juked a little early there. If he would have juked just a second later, that might have been a touchdown.
He's kind of in his feelings right now, Mo.
Yeah, he's overthinking it. Just, you know, you got to play offense. You know, that neither one of those plays were good plays at the end of the day.
3rd and 11.
Slant.
A tie ball game. And he's going to throw it to the sideline, and Ross makes the grab.
Bro, that was so hot. That was flaming.
That was so trolling
hot.
a little bit.
You don't think so?
You know, Ice feels like that wasn't a very good play.
Yo,
AKG's like, nah, that's a dot. You know, that's how we drew it up.
Big grab along the sideline by Ross. That'll move the chains all the way down to the 30-yard line now.
Bora cost me 80, right?
And Portis gets caught up, and then just what? See, what had happened was...
There's just no way this keeps happening. There's literally no way.
If you're AKG, you got to lock in for 4 minutes and go win this game. You got to get out your head. You know what I mean? He's coming out and plays early now. He's not letting Clint Portis even get healthy. Snapping the ball with 17 seconds left on the play clock.
Comes back, double juke time. That's going to be close to the first down. It should be. 1st and 10 at the 19. He's inside the red zone.
But if he would have milked the clock there, he would have been maybe 1 first down away from just kneeing out this game and kicking a field goal for the game. Now Ice is in a position where, although it does stink that AKG is inside the red zone, he's going to get the ball back almost guaranteed.
Portis, the 2nd-round pick, number 51 overall, but if you had draft champions right now, he'd be the number 1.
Yeah, especially if you plan on running the ball at all. This is the guy.
1st and 10. Just inside the red zone.
AKG has to snap this ball under 240.
Snaps it early, and this might cost him. He makes a guy miss. Forget about it. We know nothing. AKG knows all. Touchdown.
When you have jukebox, that don't really matter. You buy some time.
Just stop him. Come on. He's so nervous right now. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
And the kick is up, and it's good, and I don't know. He's saying he's nervous. AKG might be the nervous guy up 7.
Yeah, I would say so, too. You know, we didn't see him complain about the juke there, the accidental juke there, so, you know, that's always good to see.
Here comes Okoye. And he'll get a little more. It's out to the 39. This is a great return. Let's look at the touchdown run again.
Just a phenomenal juke there. You know, he jukes off Vita Vea, and nobody on Ice's defense is fast enough to catch Clint Portis, and that's just the facts.
Just stop him. Come on.
Well, Ice has won this twice, but now he's back against the ropes as AKG looking to advance to the final for the second straight year. But the championship for the Jets has been what has been just out of his reach, as he's come up short time and time again. Gets into Christian Okoye. Will this be his time with 2:30 to go?
And it's a little bit scary if you're AKG because you're sending all those guys and you're going to leave the flats open a lot. And that's okay if you're playing against Michael Pruitt. But when you're playing against Okoye in those flats and he has that speed and he's able to truck your little cornerbacks, it makes it a little bit more difficult to run this defense.
Gets the snap off before the 2-minute warning. Vic rolling out. He could run here. Past the 50, 45, and they'll mark him at the 43-yard line. So at the 2-minute warning, 7-point game, but Ice is on the move.
And that's the first time we've really seen Vic leave his mark on this game, and it came at a very crucial time.
So a new set of downs, 1:58 to go. Does have all of his timeouts. Here comes a blitz from the backside, and they'll sack him up. Lawrence Taylor, the former Tar Heel, getting in there on the sack.
And we'll see this Michael Vick be able to run away from that Brandon King, those 10-cap guys. But that Lawrence Taylor fully powered up, you're just not going to be able to get away from him.
Do not throw to the flats. Do not do it to yourself. Don't.
2nd and 21.
Got time.
Vic,
throw it
all day.
Throw it.
And he'll get the first down.
Hit that man.
Out of bounds at the 31. There goes that man.
I would have loved to see AKG have a spy there and just kind of drop in coverage. Don't let the quarterback run for a first down on 2nd and 20.
50% of the folks out on Twitter thought AKG would win this 33 in favor of Ice. Certainly the marquee matchup here in the semifinal.
So scary.
And that's in bounds. Clock will tick, tick, tick away.
That's a much bigger play than you would think. I know he only picks up a couple yards, but he stayed in bounds, and we're seeing that clock tick away. Almost 25 seconds has ran off since that last play.
52 seconds now. Quick throw outside. Christian Okoye. And a great tackle by Peterson. And here comes a timeout. He's got a Madden Ultimate Team defense out there. I mean, there's goons everywhere.
And it looks like AKG is going to keep sending this pressure. I would really love to see him drop in coverage now and just kind of play that clock and put Ice in an uncomfortable situation.
Throws it to Randy Moss, turns it upfield, and be tackled at the 8-yard line in bounds.
If you're AKG, I would make this be Ice who controls the clock. Do not control the clock for him. Do not burn your timeouts. Realistically, you're not going to get the ball back with enough time where you're going to be comfortable scoring anyways. Make Ice have to score here.
So 1st and goal.
Looks like they actually marked him out there.
They will say he stepped out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Fortunate for Ice is Sayers. Loss 2. Running game is not it, Chief. Deion Sanders on the tackle.
And after seeing that Ice did get out of bounds there, it does make it a little bit easier. If you are AKG, you can make more sense of maybe using your timeouts and trying to get the ball back and just trying to break one with Clinton Portis before the game ends, and then just take it overtime if all else fails. But if Ice had been in bounds and only had one timeout, it would have made a lot more sense to just let the clock run.
2nd and goal. 20 seconds now. Vic, quick throw.
Oh!
Almost picked off.
Next way.
Ray Lewis got his hands on it.
Next way, AKG, next way.
And then Ward couldn't scoop it up.
AKG has seen that play before. He mans up Okoye with Ray Lewis, and that's why that pass got broken up. Should have been a pick. The game should have been over.
3rd and goal now from the 10.
Watch the post of the running back here.
Motions out Moss. Here comes the... He is picked up by primetime Deion Sanders. And he will swag a bit and lay down at the 31.
Great adjustment there by AKG. Mans up Deion Sanders. That isn't no Troy Apke. That isn't Brandon Wilson in man coverage. That's Deion Sanders. He's going to make those plays.
Go game, my boy.
You can see the love when it's all over.
Go, man.
AKG has finally beat Ice. He is going to be in the final for the 2nd straight year, and for the first time ever, we're going to have a brand new New York Jets club champion as the 2-time winner, Ice, has been eliminated.
That one felt good if you're AKG. You haven't been able to get over this hump. Haven't beat Don't Care About Ice, and now you have. Just go get the game. Go get the championship done. You got to kind of come down a little bit, though. You know what I mean? This can't be your high. You know, you have to be ready for the next game and get it done.
Let's take a look how AKG got it done here in the semifinals against Ice. And I tell you what, this Michael Vick, you thought it might be a problem, but especially on this opening play, I mean, there was under 50 seconds to go in the half. That was a big one.
That was a big one, and you know, AKG just played some poor coverage there. He didn't play very safe. He looked like he had a deep half on one side and a third on the other. You're just not going to be able to stop a poster out that way.
Great juke from Portis here, and then he would outrun Wilson for the touchdown, and that would put AKG back in the lead.
And Clint Portis has been the jukebox theme. You know, the jukebox Clint Portis has been the theme of the tournament. And this was a great two-point call right there with the double hitches, just kind of spread out the zone, dumped it in there.
That low throw was huge for the 2-point, and then Torrey Holt would turn on the afterburners here, and all of a sudden, we were tied at 14 going into the fourth quarter.
Really, really good by Ice right there. It's a little bit, some people don't like throwing that route that's not at the first down marker yet. Just stayed patient, threw it there, racked it, got up the field.
That might have been the play of the game right there.
Oh yeah, that playmaker. It didn't look like that pass was going to get completed, but AKG has those great defensive backs. Ice did not. So those defensive backs weren't reacting as well for Ice because he doesn't have them out there.
And in the red zone, it would be prime time. Deion Sanders would seal the game, and he would lay down, and AKG knows he's finally done it. He's beaten Ice with just one more game to play. You see the Madden love, but AKG still got some work to do as you look at the bracket. Evil Ken, you wanted it, you got it. There's the final. It's going to be Ken and AKG, who's right now standing by with them.
Yeah, I knew he had to win because it would be the biggest height disparity of the person I would have to interview. AKG, 6'7", I believe, 6'8". And obviously 6'8". Yeah. Okay, had to correct me, and a great Madden player as well. Congrats, man. There's been a little bit of a story between that matchup right there. You want to walk us through it in your own words?
Yeah, pretty much. He comes in my club and beats me, so I feel away because I love this team and I want to represent it. So make sure I finally got it done this time.
You know, when you say he came to my club, that means you have a lot of respect and a lot of love for the Jets, right?
Yes, diehard. Yeah, I first moved here in America in 2009, and my neighbor was a Giants fan, so I just picked the other team. And, you know, and it's ever since then, up and down. But I love this, club, and I'll always keep doing it.
So you're all about yelling at people who are right next to you, right? Your neighbor first, now don't care about Ice. You were getting vocal out there. How did that go, and what was that emotion going through you in the game?
Well, it's because the game is, it goes here and there, but sometimes I let it get the best of me. I just got to calm down and then play my game.
It seems like that hyped you up, though. That did help you stay focused, and even at the very end, it was still a close game. You thought he might be able to tie it up in overtime. Then you get that pick. What was going on in your mind when that happened? You stood up, just let it all out.
Yeah, he had a play before that. I believe it was stick, and he threw a corner out. So I was like, all right, cool. I can't keep leaving these deep blues. I threw out a soft squad out there, and I dropped the pick. But then I told myself on to the next play. I knew he was gonna make the same read again, So I just sent heat at him, and he don't like pressure. And he made a bad read. I made sure I clicked on that last time, and I picked it up with Deion.
You made it happen, man. Let's talk about the finals. Now you're moving on. What do you know about Evil Ken? What have you prepared for him? Obviously, halfway done, you still have to win that game in order to represent the Jets.
I'm ready for him. He beat me, and he sent me to the losers bracket, which made me feel a type of way. So now we got to play in the finals.
Can we expect more yelling or less yelling?
Nah, less yelling.
Okay.
I'll be calm because it messes me up when I yell a little bit more, and I got to know that.
I hope not, man. I don't think anybody can throw you out of the building. You're way too big for that. Thanks so much. The finals are set for the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship, and it's a good one. Evil Ken in his first Jets Club Finals taking on AKG, who has been here before but yet to take the Jets title. Who will be the Jets champion? Find out when the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship returns with a final.
Never not on my grind. New York City time. The brother better, you will never find. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never try. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, feel. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes. Taste of the leaves, what I do.
Looking to throw. He's letting it. Juju. And he's got it.
Now what I do. Lace up the shoes. chase W's, big beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league, most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me.
It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, until there's nothing left. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the jet.
1/3 of the NFL has crowned a Madden 20 champion, and with it, named their rep for the upcoming NFL Club Championship. Once again, the AFC East is ready to crash this Madden party. This time with the New York Jets, Jets. Don't care about ice. The Jets' two-time defending champ has his eyes set on a three-peat, but his competition may have other ideas. 4 Madden pros have made the trip to the EA studios to make the Jets roster as its Madden 20 champion, but only one can advance. It's the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship. Who will make the final cut? Time flying by here on the EA campus just south of San Francisco as we push towards our Jets Club Championship final. We have 2 players remaining, and one will leave with the Jets trophy in hand. And we slide back in for a 3rd and final time inside the EA broadcast studios, just moments away from our final match of the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship Finals, in which we will finally crown a champion. Hey there, we're back, and we are so close to naming the 15th club champion for Madden 20, and this time it will be for the New York Jets. Great to have you with us, especially all those Jets fans in the chat. Evan Rayner here, and once again joined by 2-time major winner Sirius Smo and the voice of Madden competitive Scott Cole, who will call the final. Guys, we're close to crowning another champion. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jets are going to get a new champion. It's been ice for these last couple years. I'm excited to see this game because we're going to see 2 very different play styles. I like Ken's play style, just very slow, methodical, a formation we don't see a whole lot of. I'm excited for this game.
I don't want to put too much hype on it, but for both these competitors, this is a career-changing game for them. I mean, they've been up to this point. I mean, Ken hasn't even been in a final for a while.
Right.
So Ken could kind of restart his career, and then for AKG, this could maybe kick it off for him.
Yeah, it could be a lot happening here. I mean, for those tuning in for the first time, let's just catch you up with the format for the individual club championships we've been following. The winner of the Jets final advances to the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship. In the semis, the top seed of Xbox faces the lower seed of the PS4 pool and vice versa. We're playing much salary cap, so roster building is key. This week, players have been competing on the latest Madden 20 patch. Prize pool-wise, $6,500 goes to today's winner, plus the chance to win $100,000 later next month. So we have a young man, 22 years old, 6'8", excited to be in the finals. Took down the defending champ. His name's AKG, and he's been in the finals before, so it's not like he's new to this territory. Did he show you enough to really kind of shift the gear towards thinking he might be the favorite against Evil Ken?
One thing I liked about AKG that I noticed is, during the game we heard a lot of chatter, really a lot of complaining, you know what I mean? Things weren't going his way as far as his controller or whatever. He felt like his players weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But then after the game, he kind of owned it. He said, you know what, like, I was out of line. I know I play worse when I do that. In this next game, you won't see that. But also, you kind of want to see somebody be themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then that's when you start getting nervous. Like, how am I supposed to act? What am I supposed to do? So it's kind of a little balancing act. But I do like how he owned it. I need to be better, and I'm rooting for him because of that.
I think AKG knows that there's nothing that he can do in this final to shake Ken. I mean, Ken's played in a lot of different scenarios, and there's nothing that AKG can say to get to Ken. So all AKG needs to do is play his game. You spend a lot of cap on your defense. If you can get just 1 turnover, that might be enough.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they stick to their game plans as well. We had 4 players, and now we've only got 2. Let's put our flashlight back on the Jets bracket and how we got to this final. In the first semi, it was 29-year-old Evil Ken pulling away from the 19-year-old Fresh NYC. Just moments ago, it was AKG getting past the 2-time defending champ, going for his three-peat. Don't care about ice to secure another shot at the Jets title. Honestly, this is a great final matchup. We've got a veteran, we've got a youngster, both looking very good. Who do you think takes the edge in this? I mean, who are you looking at matchup-wise?
That's the thing.
Perform?
It's really tough to say because they are so different. You know what I mean? Like, Ken is a super old-school player. He's only 29, but he's been playing Madden forever, and he's been playing Madden for 17 years. That means he started when he was 12 years old. You know what I mean? So he's been playing forever, has the experience, but hasn't been able to get to this point in the MCS era. So it's tough, but neither has AKG. So it's like, who's going to do it? Somebody has to get it done.
Ken got a lot of open passes in semifinal number 1 deep against Troy Apke and Wilson. He's going to be going up against Troy Polamalu and Dion back there. I think you're going to see a different game plan from Ken. He's going to have to really be patient in his reads.
Yeah, not a lot of time to adjust as well. Before we tee up our final, we want to remind you that in addition to the $6,500 first prize, today's winner will also receive this authentic Jets helmet signed by Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. For the final, we have moved it front and center to our player pods so they can clearly see what is at stake. It's the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship trophy. All right. Well, we once again want to say special thanks to the Jets for all of that. You see the helmet. It's a beautiful thing. Let's dig into our final and get into the matchup, boys. Obviously, it is these two players looking very good heading into it.
Yeah, and I love the point you made, Scott, about how the different DBs are going to play a factor. When Ken played that first game versus Fresh NYC, he had nobody on defense.
All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for, the Madden 20 Jets Club Championship Finals. It's the experienced Evil Ken at 29 years old, taking on AKG. Scott and Serious Mo will be on the call. Let's kick it over and get to it.
Well, what a good club championship it has been for the New York Jets, and you're going to get a brand new champion. Will it be AKG? Or will it be Evil Ken on the other side? First, AKG, 22 years old from the Bronx. You heard in his post-game interview, he's only been in America since 2009, and he certainly has picked up the game we love.
Absolutely, and AKG has a phenomenal story. I remember when he posted this article about his father. AKG's been through a lot. It's amazing to see him out here competing at the highest level.
Certainly puts things in perspective. On the other side, there is Evil Ken, 28 years old. Remember, he finished 13th all the way back at the Madden 17 Challenge. That was his first EA major. Makes his home in East Orange, New Jersey. That's where my cousin lives. A little fact there. But the main thing here is, this is a chance. This is a chance for him to reboot his career.
Let's talk about the offensive rank of 7th out of all these competitors, and he's running a run-heavy formation really with that 2 tight end look, and he's still able to get it done on offense. Extremely impressive to see him come out here and pass the ball every single play out of that Gun Ace Twins.
Well, in salary cap, it's all about the roster, so let's head to the wall one more time with Nick and Pavin.
Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Who better to break down the rosters than the Madden 19 club champion, Pavin? Let's start out with AKG. Take a look at his offense. An impressive performance against the defending New York Jets club champion, Don't Care About Ice. What do you see from his offense that's going to help him, really propel himself forward into being the Jets club champion?
On offense, this Clem Portis kind of started off a little cold for him that first game, but he soon picked up fire. And then look at these two great wide receivers, Marvin Harrison and Torrey Holt right there. And something I really like is this all 85 overall plus O-lineman. That's going to dominate the trenches for him, and it's going to be a key to success for him to win this game.
Yeah, now let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball, because we know Evil Ken, he's going to bring that balanced attack. So as we look at the defense, how is he going to find a way to stop the passing game? It looks like Patrick Peterson's going to be a big part.
Yeah, definitely. AKG somewhat lowered his offense, but look at this defense. I could see 1 great player, 2 great players, 3 great players, 4 great linebackers in Clowney, Telvin Smith, Ray Lewis, and Lawrence Taylor. And if he does pass, if Evil Ken is forced to pass, it's Troy Polamalu, Pat Pete, Deion Sanders, and Denzel Ward will be playing perfect coverage all game long.
Yeah, let's take a look at the abilities that AKG has spent some cap on. Not a whole lot, but we did see Jukebox come up big in the semifinals.
Yeah, definitely. It started off a little slow with the Jukebox, but he soon found his rhythm with that Clem Portis and was juking and jiving all game long.
Well, AKG's not going to be the only one out there. Evil Ken looking to be named the New York Jets club champion. Let's take a look at the offensive side of the ball for Evil Ken. And man, he was incredibly balanced. We didn't really see Austin Eckler a whole lot, but we saw a lot of Terrell Owens and Donald Driver.
Yeah, definitely. These 2 wide receivers right here, receivers we really don't see, but they definitely showed their value that game. This Phillip Rivers with that hot route master and pocket lead was very phenomenal that game, and then this Dallas Clark he had out there was catching those corner routes all game long.
Yeah, those 2 tight ends came up big, Clark and Everett. As we look defensively, how he's going to try to counteract AKG. Looking at the defense, that Denzel Ward, 93 overall.
Yeah, definitely. If AKG is putting the ball in the air, look for this Denzel Ward to make plays all game long. Another great player is obviously this Troy Polamalu up top, but I want to notice how he has so many great zone coverage linebackers and players all over the field. So if AKG is looking to pass, those players are going to be in coverage and playing great.
How about those abilities for Evil Ken? Phillip Rivers, 2 of them. Troy Polamalu, secure tackler.
Yeah, this Troy Polamalu has been on everybody's team, but that pocket lead is something we yet to see. Look for it in this game.
you know, and that hot route master has been a staple in the meta.
Hey, let's crown a Jets champion, Scott Mo.
Why not? Jets, Jets here in the final. AKG, Evil Ken. There can only be one moving forward to the round of 32 and a stacked AFC East. Both these guys have, well, won just about the same. $7,700. You got a 18-11 record for Evil Ken, 17-13 now for AKG. Evil Ken wanted this matchup. Sometimes, Mo, you got to be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, and Ken's probably a top 15, top 20 at worst Madden player of all time, and he's relatively unknown because of this MCS era. He hasn't been around, and AKG, who's been around, you know, people know AKG from, you know, Twitter or his streaming channel, but he hasn't made it happen either in the MCS era. So it's kind of a strange dynamic here. Two completely different players, but both want to get this done.
The history of Madden certainly goes well beyond Madden 16. 1st and 10. Ball will start at the 20 for Evil Ken. They'll set up their audibles and be ready to go. Evil Ken talked about that battle, that winner's bracket semifinal. Evil Ken beat AKG 16-13.
And you know what scares me in this game for Ken? It's that he's never been a very good defensive player, and AKG is spending all his cap on defense. It's going to be tough to score every single drive versus AKG, and I just don't know if Ken's going to be able to get stops because he does have such a poor defense out there.
I believe it was back in Madden 18 that AKG knocked out Evil Ken in the Jets Club Championship.
And Ken knocking AKG to the loser's bracket and online just wasn't enough for Ken. He said, I need him again.
Need him on the big stage. 1st and 10. He'll hand it off to Portis. Portis on the edge, and he'll run out of bounds at the 30. That's a quick 10. It'll be 2nd and inches as the ball was in his left hand.
And we never seen Ken go to that in that first game at all. So this could be, he played AKG online. He knows that that's going to be there for him.
Sure, he spent his time in the Players Lounge watching that second semifinal very intently. Needs an inch. Here on 2nd down. Rivers hands it off to Portis. 1st down, a little bit more. Out to the 38-yard line.
And what we're going to see here is Ken is always going to move the ball very slowly, very methodically, and then he's going to try to hit you up top when you least expect it. He's a very methodical player. Expect him to use a lot of clock, not even intentionally not clocking, but just expect him to use a lot of clock just because that's how he likes to have his offensive pace.
It's only right that we got AKG from New York, Evil Ken from New Jersey, battle it out to find out who's going to be the Jets Club champion at virtual MetLife Stadium. 1st and 10 now. Ken looking. And Rivers will just throw it away.
Yeah, I did not like that route combo at all. He ran a small little crosser and a comeback route. Just not a very good route combo. Didn't see Ken do a lot of that in the first game. It looks like he might be a little bit uncomfortable out there.
2nd and 10. Two receivers off to the left. Double tight end formation. As Rivers moves up under center. Quick throw to the outside. There is T.O. And Owens to the 41. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Big 3rd down.
And Ken not using that gun ace slot formation at all this game. Just using it to come out and audibling down every single play.
Needs to get to the 48-yard line to continue the drive.
Look for a corner route here to the tight end.
Rivers gets it outside. Portis can't make a man miss. It's Troy Polamalu.
No huddle.
And he will hurry it up. 4th and 6 at the 42. Quick throw to Dallas Clark, and he can't hang on.
If you're Ken, that's one of the best tight ends of all time. You need him to come down with that.
That was Dion on the hit.
Looked like the coverage was just so tight that it didn't really have much to do with Dion. It had more to do with the players around him.
AKG, 2nd time in back-to-back years he is in the final. Lost to Ice last year, but he just beat him in the semifinal. So step 1 done. But Evil Ken stands before him here on 1st and 10 from the 42. It's a turnover on downs. It's great field position for AKG.
And that first drive, that's what I was worried about for Ken. He's been such a high-powered offensive player, but AKG has those great defenders over there. So if Ken wasn't able to score every drive, I figured it would get a little bit tough because even in that first game versus Fresh, he wasn't able to get those stops in the game. So it's going to be a little bit of a more tricky situation. He's not going to be able to just be leading the game the entire game. He's going to have to stand up for himself and hold him to 3 or get a stop.
Evil Ken, whose first name is actually Dennis. Get a backstory on that at some point. Doesn't look like a Dennis to me. We'll stick with Ken. 1st and 10. Rogers hands it off to Portis. Gets through the gap. Nobody in his way. And Clinton Portis one more time.
And that's where it gets tough. When somebody's running the ball on you, you don't even make them have to use their ability, and it's just a wide open touchdown. That's where it gets tough. It makes it feel like you're helpless on defense. If you're Ken, you gotta bounce back here.
AKG strikes first with 2:32 to go. And now Ken will get it for the second time. And you gotta have something positive come out of it. Here's it again.
Just no one there. Never was touched. Ran into the back of his offensive lineman for a second, then broke free.
Champ Bailey could not run him down from the backside of that defense. That's Clinton Earl Portis continues to put on a show here in the club championship. 2:30 to go now here in the first quarter as Portis jukes his way to the 30.
I'd like to see Ken go back to that trap a little bit more. It looks like he's going to be one-on-one with his safety a lot there because the linebacker's going to the other side of the field to cover that wide receiver.
That'll make it 2nd and 2. Phillip Rivers.
It's a shot play.
And he can't get rid of it. Here comes another 3rd down.
If you're Ken, though, that was the look you wanted. It looked like the tight end was going to run open, but he just happened to run into the back of the linebacker there and kind of got stuck on him, so he wasn't able to break free and get open. But that play will be open down in the rest of this game.
Terrell Owens, Donald Driver over on the right side. Driver was huge in the opening semifinal game against Fresh NYC. Rivers will get it to Driver. It's a new set of downs out at the 35.
And if Ken is able to win this game, I'd like to know what that pocket lead does because I've never used that ability. We haven't seen that ability used, and I want to know what that ability does for him.
1st and 10. First time we've seen it. Already crowned 15 club champions.
And that's the difference between AKG having a phenomenal defense and playing against somebody with just kind of a budget defense because you're running out a lot of those abilities. Those guys are closing in the gaps so fast where that gain would normally be 9 to 10 yards. It ends up being 4, and that can be a difference in a game.
2nd and 6. Ken again. This time we get into Dallas Clark, and he'll pick up the 1st down at the 45.
Ken looks like he's settling in a bit, kind of getting his feet from underneath him. I like to see it. I like to see him back in this formation. We've seen him audibling down a little bit and running some formation that we didn't see a whole lot of. So I like him getting back in this gun ace slot.
We talked about that he was going to have to dink and duck his way down the field. He was not going to get those big plays that he had in the first semifinal unless AKG makes a mistake in coverage. And that's forced into Ward. Right to him, and Ward.
He's not going to get caught. Oh.
Will step out of bounds at the 30.
I was lucky. I'll take it.
Looked like an inaccurate throw there. It looked like he might have had the tight end, but just wasn't able to cut it off because it was such a poor throw from Phillip Rivers.
I mean, Ward was open.
Absolutely.
He threw it right to him for the interception.
Ward was wide open.
Remember, the first drive started at the 42. Now he's starting at the 30. Great field position again for AKG.
And if you're Ken, you have to hold him to 3. There's no other option. You cannot give up 7 here.
Clock is your best friend.
If you're AKG, you can't afford not to get 3.
Absolutely.
You know, you've been given a gift. Make this a 2-score lead.
I heard AKG say the clock is your friend, AKG. The clock is your friend. What's that? What he's saying by when he's saying that? He's going to milk this clock all the way down, probably snap the ball under 10 seconds every play of this drive, and just make sure he goes up 2 possession because he knows he's getting the ball at half as well.
Big opportunity here for AKG. 22-year-old's trying to win the biggest game of his young Madden career. Rogers in the gun. Picks up the blitz, has time, and squeezes it in there to Ross. That'll make it a 3rd and 5 at the 24.
A little bit of a scary throw there, but he held in there. John Ross used his body, catches the ball.
Champ Bailey was closing down. That makes it very manageable 3rd down. Ball at the 24. Under 4 minutes to go now in the half.
I think I want to see a sweep here. Don't take a sack. Make sure you stay in field goal range. Still have the upside of picking up the 1st down. I'd love to see the sweep.
Here comes the hot routes. Motions out Holt. And you got to get rid of it quick. It's going to be a long field goal opportunity. It's going to be a 41-yarder. Now it's a 49-yard field goal. And we're going to have a timeout. AKG thinking this over. Didn't like. Inaccurate on both of them. Kick is up and it'll squeak over the bar. And just like that, it's a 2-score game, 10-0 in favor of AKG.
Ken has to get 7 points on this drive. When you use that hot route master, it's really hard to have big chunk plays. It's hard to score quickly. So you need to milk the rest of this clock out and score before the end of the half. Go down 3, give AKG the ball back, and play 1 half of football down by 3.
Even a field goal would give AKG something to think about.
It's really hard playing behind 2 possessions in this game. It's really hard to get a stop and then score, then get a stop, because the clock moves so quickly, especially when your opponent knows that he can use the clock.
The average starting, field position has been really the story of the game. 2 short fields for AKG, 2 scores.
And I experienced the same thing in my game with young Tony. Is I didn't make Tony work for the win. I just gave it to him. And that's really scary. You do not want to turn the ball over early. You want your opponent to have to work down the field. You cannot just give them free touchdowns.
Rivers here for Ken. He'll get it to T.O. And Terrell will pick up the 1st down at the 36-yard line.
6 for 9 for 31 yards. It's just not ideal yards per catch.
And Rivers can't get away from Lawrence Taylor. One more time for LT, who was big in semifinal number 2, and now for AKG's getting work done in the final. Up under center now. Trying to hot route master it up. Short drop, quick throw, and Everett will drop it. Everett was huge in that first game for Ken. Bit a non-factor here in the first half.
And these 3rd and 14s are so tough. Similar to real life, you just don't see them picked up a lot in this game, just because it's so hard when you have such a slow quarterback. You're not able to step up in the pocket as well. You're going to have to make this a 4th and manageable.
As it sits, it's a 3rd and 14 from the 32. Taking a lot of time. Get everything set up. Coming up on the 2-minute warning. There's Portis. Makes a man miss.
2-minute warning, 2 more minutes.
Only picked up 4 though.
That's Pat Pete, I think, that was on the tackle.
Stay locked in.
And here comes 4th down.
I know it doesn't seem like a long way because we used to see people pick up these 3rd and 25s like it was their job. But 4th and 10 this year is almost an impossible down. It's really, really tough to pick it up this year.
Needs to get past the 46 here at the 2-minute warning.
Expect AKG to send all 7 guys that are in the box. All those linebackers are going to be blitzing.
And this is a huge play. I'm not sure you don't punt it away. Rivers.
Got him.
Throws it. Clark on the streak, and he'll haul it in at the 21, right up the seam.
Great patience there by Ken. It looked like AKG messed up his user just a little bit, bumped into Clark, kind of let Clark get some space on him, and he wasn't able to recover with that Deion Sanders.
Why'd you press X? Should have swatted it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. 1st and 10. 90 seconds to go here in the half.
And beyond picking up that first down, you get into the red zone. You almost know you're going to get points this drive, and AKG is going to have to work in the second half.
Ken's emotions haven't changed at all, winning or losing. It's been pretty even kill. There's another timeout from AKG.
And I don't like that timeout at all. You're already up 2 possessions. You're going to get the ball at halftime. Allow Ken to just milk himself out here. Allow him to do whatever he wants.
Portis and Dion on another big hit. How big has Dion been? 3rd and 9, now at the 20. And AKG out of timeouts. Let's see if that works out for him here on 3rd down. Rivers. Quick drop, and there's a shed. The ball's on the ground. And we should have a field goal attempt coming here from the 26, and Ken will run this clock all the way down.
Should have never recalled them timeout. That was bad.
Yes, we agree.
Oh, well.
And honestly, if I'm Ken, I would consider kicking the field goal early. Maybe give AKG some time where he feels like he can score, make him make a mistake.
Half, you're up 7. Be smart on offense.
It's going to be a 43-yarder. Ken will take this clock all the way down.
And I would assume we'd see AKG just give the ball to Clint Portis and take it to half, knowing that he's up by 7, knowing that he's getting the ball at half and he controls this game.
And the kick is up down Main Street. We got a 7-point game. It's been a bit of a struggle fest for Ken here in this first half. And it was a huge 4th and 10 that he converted on. Or he would have gave AKG another great field position.
This game would have been over, Scott. If he didn't pick up that first down, this game would have been over. And the big thing about that is he gets 3 points and AKG gets none. You know, whereas AKG was for sure going to get points in that drive, was going to be the last drive of the half, and we would have seen a 2-possession lead minimum and getting the ball at half.
21 seconds to go. Let's see what AKG does with 0 timeouts. I'm not sure I don't go Game of Thrones here and just bend the knee.
I think you give it to Clinton Portis one time, see what can happen. If you're able to get out of bounds and then go ahead, but you need to get down. I would not pass the ball in this situation.
He's going to the air. Rogers throws it to Torrey Holt. He's got some space and will not get out of bounds. This runoff, I don't think he can do it.
Scott, I think he had the post there. I think he might have been able to go up top, but he doesn't have one of those great quarterbacks. He has Aaron Rodgers, just a little bit of a budget quarterback. So he probably didn't feel comfortable. He probably felt like the ball would hang in the air, but I think he could have hit him up top with that post route.
Well, we're here at the half, 10-3. They're playing for $6,500. Of course, that autograph Sam Darnold helmet representing the Jets. I love what they've done with their new uniforms, the colors. A little bit of throwback, but it's also got a modern feel. And with just 10 minutes left in the ball game, AKG up by a touchdown over Evil Ken. And he's going to get the ball first. And the decision-making in the last 2 minutes for AKG, very questionable.
Oh, for sure. He blitzed everybody and was controlling the side all by himself on a 4th and 10 when his opponent has Phillip Rivers. Why not just, Phillip Rivers isn't going to scramble on 4th and 10. Why not just kind of drop in coverage and make him make a read? You made it really easy on Ken.
Dion makes a man miss out to the 32. I'm old school, man. I don't even like these theatrics. I've seen too many games, especially when you're trying to get over the hump. Dion certainly could cough it up on a kick return.
Or how about tossing it back to Dion? How about if that ball just falls on the ground somewhere?
High formation. Portis, one cut, goes nowhere. Lost a yard. AKG up by 7. Spent a lot of cap on Clint Portis.
Look for the outright on the right.
And that's where he goes, partner.
Thank you.
And Torrey Holt
40 more seconds.
will pick up the first down.
Take away 40 seconds. On to the next play.
Torrey Holt, one of the few players in history that had 6 consecutive seasons with over 1,300 yards. A legend indeed. 1st and 10. AKG trying to get his 18th win.
And we're going to see AKG using a lot of clock here, just hoping he can get some points. And what I like that he's doing, he's not using the true clock feature. He's actually just milking the clock himself so he doesn't get any situations where he has to panic.
Hands it off to Portis, and the Red Sea has parted. Once again, Clinton Portis into the end zone for AKG.
Kind of set up with the motion, made him think that he may have been running it to the right, goes to the left, and it was just wide open for him.
Extra point up, and it's good. The lead is now 14.
He has 3 points to get a stop.
3-play, 67-yard drive, just taking 1 minute and 11 seconds.
And what's important for Ken here, he has to stay within himself, realize that his offense is a slow-paced offense, but AKG scored so fast that where you don't really have to rush, you need to just score, focus on getting a stop and getting the ball back.
You heard AKG after his semifinal win. He seems like he's on a mission. Like he's like, this is my club. I keep coming here trying to win, and right now he's in a great situation.
Yeah, like you said, he's a huge Jets fan, probably the only football team he ever knew for a long time. Huge Jets fan. Obviously, he wants to get it done because of that, but also, like I said, he's been around for a long time but has never really won a big game. Everybody knows who he is, but we don't know him for winning big Madden games. This is a big Madden game right now.
These guys on Xbox One, it was Evil Ken that beat him by 3 in the winner's bracket.
All right, that's fine.
But it's been AKG getting the best of Ken here so far.
Yeah, domination really, Scott. The first 2 drives, AKG gets a pick, gets another stop on 4th down. Makes it really, really easy to play offense and kind of just control the game. And then when Clinton Portis breaks two free ones for you, you really don't have to work at all. It makes the game a lot easier.
Second grab for Donald Driver. Just 14 yards.
Got him.
And there's Everett. He works his way up the seams. So those are the tender spaces in this AKG defense.
Yeah, we're noticing when Ken gets time, everybody's wide open. He's not missing. He's not going to miss that read. What you need to do is you need to get the pressure there or drop back. Got him.
Here's the blitz once again, and Philip Rivers, like he's standing in quicksand, goes down.
And what happened there? AKG blitzed 7 guys, but with his user, once the ball was snapped, he accidentally hit stick, so he had only 3 guys in coverage. Ken should have just got the ball out and made a move. He would have for sure picked up yards no matter what button he pushed. Kind of panicked a little bit when the pressure got in.
2nd and 13. Certainly the blitz has been very effective for AKG in back-to-back games.
The one thing I don't like about AKG's defense right now is it's so obvious that he's dropping into coverage because he's just spreading those linebackers out and pinching that D-line. I would like to see him actually blitz versus this formation.
Portis gets the handoff, and he'll fall near the marker at the 37. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2.
Just a great call there. 2nd and 13, you're down by 14. A lot of people would be afraid to run. Ken's a veteran. He knows that he just needs to put himself in a decent situation. He can pick up the first down. Just a really, really good call right there.
We've only seen him run that quick pitch once. It's a good gain to the weak side. Rivers, that got tipped at the line. It was caught. Bringing up a 4th and 2.
It looks like they called it incomplete, actually.
I think Boswell, he's going.
It looked like he got both hands under the animation, but they're going to say that's incomplete. Clock will stop. 1:27 here in the 3rd. And he swings it out, and Driver will hold on for the first down.
I didn't think he was going to get there. I didn't think he got there. And if it was anybody but Dion, he probably drops that football.
Oh, all the flippies on, no wonder.
I'd say after that tip pass, he deserved that first down.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He definitely deserved the first down. He should have picked it up the play before. Sticks with it, gets it out there quick, picks up just enough for the first down.
Double tight end once again. Owens and Driver off to the left for Philip Rivers. And he'll pitch it outside to Portis. And can't get outside Lawrence Taylor.
And that's the scary part. Those flats get covered so quickly. The defenders are able to react so fast, especially when you have that Lawrence Taylor, and then you have Deion Sanders right there in coverage as well. They're always going to close in fast. So that's the perks of blitzing 7 guys is when you have those great defenders, they're always going to close the gap.
Philip Rivers going all Mortal Kombat. Rukin on that pass out to Clinton Portis. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8. And there's the heat. Clowney will get there once again. 2nd sack of the game.
You got 2 sacks, Clowney. Get 1 more. Get yourself 1 more, Clowney.
3rd and 14.
Come on.
Put your 4s up. We are headed to the 4th quarter here in the New York Jets Club Championship. Just 5 minutes.
5 more minutes. Come on.
Left in this ball game. Will AKG finally win this thing?
All right, he's definitely not going to pick this.
He certainly put in the work.
And this is the game right here, Scott, because we know AKG has that clean portage. He's going to just run the ball, use that clock. So this is the game. Ken has to find a way to get time here and free somebody open.
Big fourth down.
Timeout.
And AKG wants to think it over.
And we still hear AKG talking to himself, but it's much more positive now. We're hearing him kind of work through it in his head as opposed to complaining about things that are going on in the game. He's really working through it, trying to figure out what's best for him and calling himself out and be like, oh, timeout, you know, I need to get my thoughts together. That defense was not good. Right. Where a lot of players would be like, I'll just see what can happen. You know, he knows those timeouts aren't going to play a factor for him. So just a great usage of the timeout.
Somebody screen. Somebody make a play.
Sort of like going through a checklist in his mind, and there is a sack.
Fletcher Cox, let's go, man.
Fletcher Cox. Another turnover on down, and AKG has the football with a huge lead.
Great defense by AKG all game, and that was the story of the game. You know, I said Ken's going to have to score because I don't think he's going to be able to get very many stops on AKG, and I know that AKG has that great defense out there. So it's just a scary situation for Ken just as far as matchup goes, and it worked out for AKG.
It's a block on the edge, but can't turn it upfield.
That was a bad run slip. Horrible.
They'll get a yard. 17-3. This is as far as Evil Ken has been since the Madden 17 challenge. Of course, AKG. This is his fourth try in a club series, third straight try at the Jets. And all he has to do is hold on.
This one's going to feel good too, Scott. This is one of the best wins you can get when you win. When you can finally represent your favorite team. I'm sure it's such a phenomenal feeling. He probably dreamt of a moment like this, and he's going to get it done.
Remember, young Kiv, it took him forever.
Don't make a bad play.
To finally win his club.
Yeah, Kiv feels like club championship has not been too nice to him, and I feel him because it hasn't been very nice to me either.
Well, the bell is tolling.
Chance you lose it if you throw, unless you throw.
Time's running out on Evil Ken.
Honestly, bro.
Here's a 3rd and 15.
I'm running the ball.
Ken still does have all 3 timeouts. Everything's going to have to go his way from here on out.
And I like AKG run the ball here, especially if he uses all that clock and snaps it at 1 second on the play clock. I think it's a really good idea to run the ball because he knows that Ken's offense takes a while to move, even if it's running at full strength.
And he will stretch it out. Palomalu trying to chase him down.
That's fine.
And there's Telvin Smith helping out on the tackle. And that'll run another 40 seconds off the play clock.
And AKG's up by 2 possessions, and he's only had to run 10 offensive plays. That's crazy. To only have to run 10 offensive plays and be up 2 possessions, all that tells you is his defense is playing phenomenal.
2 short fields in the first half, led to 10 points. And then the opening drive coming out of the locker room in the 3rd quarter.
Got a quick one. Got a quick one and kind of put this game away, put this game on ice because Ken has not been able to move the ball very well.
What a punt. They'll mark that at the 12-yard line. That's for Ken. Needs 2 touchdowns. They'll have to start out having to put together an 88-yard drive.
And in prior Maddens, this could get done in maybe 45 seconds if you're able to get out of bounds, pick up huge chunk plays. But in this Madden, it's really, really hard to have deep passes down the field. So if you're Ken, you need to be aiming to score around the 120 mark to give yourself a chance and try to conserve all those 3 timeouts.
Swings it outside, Portis. And he'll step out of bounds smartly at the 22. That should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, one thing I like from Ken right there is normally a lot of players would just go to the panic and go to the jukebox because they have it. He kind of just waited and just ran it outside, picks up 10, get out of bounds. Really, really smart play that a lot of people won't even notice.
Feel like those spaces have been open all game long. And he squeezes one in at Dallas Clark. Clock on the move.
And staying in bounds right there, you're going to notice he's only going to get 1 or 2 more plays before the 2-minute warning. And that's kind of what I mean. It's really hard to move down the field fast because the clock does just work so far against you. He's going to take 25 seconds to snap this ball.
Rivers. Time gets it out to Everett. That'll take him to the 2-minute warning.
And if you were going to throw that pass, you were always going to get 1 play off anyways. So there's no point in rushing that play if you're just going to throw it to the flats and just waste it down.
2 minutes to go. 17-3 in favor of AKG. He has been dominant here in the final.
Looks like Ken's going to go to that shot play.
Call it 36. A little bit of emotion. Quick throw. Donald Driver coming across the formation. Might be shy of the first down. No, they'll give it to him.
This is where it gets tough. You're almost guaranteed to have to use your timeouts in this drive just because the clock is moving so fast. And Ken almost uses that quick pass as a spike. You know, he just snapped through it to him, just hoping that his player really doesn't catch it. And here we are. We're already at 135, and he's only picked up 35 yards, and it's been a smooth 35 yards. You know, the clock moves so quickly. It's really hard to get your hurry-up offense going.
There's no way he sends his running back on the route here.
Got to get out of bounds or burn those timeouts. The runoff is brutal.
Perfect.
Rivers up the middle. Donald Driver makes a man miss. And Double D takes it into the end zone. We're not done yet.
Scott, I don't want to say that I said he needs to aim to score about 120 or anything, but he just so happened to score around 127. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But kind of a fortunate play. Makes a guy miss with Donald Driver. Not really known for his juke move, and he was just off to the races.
Going full serious Romo there, and he is going to go for 2.
Look for the corner around the back of the end zone. Got him. Oh!
I don't get it.
I don't get going for 2, but he did have his guy. And you would think with that pocket lead that he would be able to stand in there and make that throw, but he just wasn't able to.
Run out of bounds here. Run straight out of bounds.
Now you got to go for 2.
Absolutely, you have no choice but to go for 2. But the one thing about this is you almost know if you're able to stop the run, you're going to get the ball back. Whereas if you were up by 6, your opponent might pass the ball on a 3rd and 6. Now you just know if you're able to get your opponent on 3rd and 6, he's going to run the ball and you're going to get the ball back because you are down 8, and your opponent knows that you have to get that 2-point conversion. Not saying that it's good to not get the 2-point conversion, but that is a little extra factor that plays in.
17-9. Still a 1-score game, 1:24 to go. Ken does have all 3 timeouts.
Look for a dive here. There's no point in running a stretch here.
Rodgers hands it off to Portis. And he maybe got 2. Clock stopped, 1:21 to go. 2nd and 8.
Be interested to see what AKG does here. I know for sure that I would run the ball 3 times, but it's a little bit different when you're actually playing in the game. You know, you want to feel like you just need to get the game over with, and we actually see Ken switch to that secure tackler at safety.
Needs 8 to end the game. Hands it to Portis, and it is a committee meeting in the backfield. That's a loss of 2. Here comes a 3rd and 10. Clock stop, 1:17 to go now.
If you're Ken, you're praying AKG throws the ball here because you're going to save a timeout if you're able to get that stop. You're absolutely praying that he throws the ball here. You take that risk.
Ball at the 19. Needs to get past the 29.
He's throwing.
The ceiling. He's going to the air. Quick throw to the outside. Portis! And Troy Polamalu has given Evil Ken a chance.
Great tackle there by Ken. That 2-point conversion's weighing heavy right now.
Yeah, it's no timeout.
He'll punt it away with 1:11 to go.
And he needs a
Champ is going to return it. Heads up the sideline. He's got a little space. And he's gobbled up at the 47. This is very, very doable for Ken.
Absolutely, but the clock is still against him because even if he is able to pick up 25 yards and he stays in bounds, he's only going to have 2 or 3 plays left. It's a really tough situation, and you cannot afford to have any plays that are less than 10 yards.
Watch this Dallas Clark to the short corner. Rivers looking downfield. He got to throw it away, and he will. 58 seconds to go.
It looked like if Ken was able to playmaker that Dallas Clark early and get him up the field, it looked like AKG had no zones over there. But he just didn't see the same thing we seen, and that's where it gets a little bit tougher when you're actually playing in the game.
You get triggered in chat when you see B was open.
Oh, yeah, man, I can't. Me especially. I see that after every play. Somebody was open, and I didn't see him.
I'm the greatest coach on Mondays, I can tell you that. Rivers to the outside. There's Everett. Gets out of bounds. Smart play.
It's a very smart play. He's noticing that AKG has no cornerback over there, and he's been blitzing all those linebackers almost every play.
So it brings up a 3rd and 3. Clock stopped. 54 seconds ago. We have not seen 5 wide.
I love this look. Draw something up. You know AKG's in coverage. Those linebackers aren't surrounding line of scrimmage. You know he's in coverage. All you have to do is draw one up.
Boy, if he can buy time here, he's cooking up some crossing routes.
Look for that C route to Portis late.
The user's on it, and he'll test him. And it is a pick.
AKG seen the same thing I seen, went over there and snatched it. I still like the play call. You just had to have something coming over the middle, and you would have had a guy wide open.
And that's enough to do it. AKG with a huge interception. He'll just have to run 2 plays, and we will be donezo. It'll be the first time for AKG. And he'll have an opportunity, and you'll happily bend the knee when you know you're on the winning side. The best formation in football, the victory formation for AKG.
And really just dominated in that game. His defense got it started, kind of let him relax on offense, didn't have to make a whole lot of plays on offense, and when he had to, he just ran the ball. Clint Portis got it done.
Your final 17-9, and finally AKG gets it done. Evil Ken beat him in the online to get here, busting him down to the losers bracket, but on the big stage in the final, it's AKG with that amazing defense that stood tall when he needed it to. And let's take a look at the highlights here in this one. AKG back in the final. Evil Ken for the first time in a while. And this was opening play by AKG. It was another short field. That was the story in the first half.
Yeah, it just made it way too easy on him. You know, you want your opponent to have to work down the field, and right after AKG gets a stop, he breaks one for a touchdown. Just makes it way too easy.
So AKG feeling good, up 17-3. We're in the closing minute of the fourth quarter, and Ken finally gets some daylight. And he would go for 2 here. That would make it an 8-point game. You saw the C route. He was going to test the user. And AKG living up to the test, hauls it in. And finally, he would win this Jets Club Championship.
This is the best we've seen AKG look, 100%. He got it done.
And of course, AKG, you can see his road there, beating Don't Care About Ice, and then beating Evil Ken, and the champ is with Evan.
All right, we got the champ here of the Jets, AKG. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It was a huge effort, and obviously this is your 4th career Final Four.
Right.
You have finally reached the top of the mountain. How big of a moment is this for you?
I'm honestly happy. I'm not gonna lie, but the job is not done. It's been, this is the best I've ever been playing, honestly, but I got to get better and move on to the next one, Final 32.
When you mean the job's not done, you're referring to the club championships.
Right. Yeah.
17th to 20th.
Yeah, this is like the last 32 teams we got to represent. I got to go out there, make sure I keep pushing with my Jets, try to, take them all the way.
How's your confidence for that tournament? Obviously, that's the next step.
I always hold myself to high standards.
Yeah.
And so I'll put in the time and I'll make sure I get there.
All right, let's look at the pick that sealed the deal here in the third quarter, gave you a bit of an option. You can look here on the board. Walk me through what was going on in your head at this moment.
I knew I couldn't send pressure because he had everybody, lined out. And his quarterback was the only one that was behind the 5 linemen, so I just played pure coverage. And I also had to play the sideline because he couldn't, get out of bounds. I couldn't afford to let him get out of bounds, so I had hard flats and straight cover 4, so I just left the corner out.
All right, well, you did great on the field, but off the field, you're still a huge Jets fan. How much does it mean to actually represent a club that you are a huge fan of?
It means everything. I honestly love this team, and I'm speechless. I love this squad, yeah.
Well, guess what? We got something else from the Jets specifically to you because of how well you played. A Sam Darnold signed helmet. He's kissing it. He loves it. How's it feel to hold that thing, man?
Great. I used to wear one of these in high school. Now I'm going to just put this right on top of my table.
That's right, collecting trophies. Yep. I know you're going to want one more in December.
Yes.
All right, man, best of luck. Congratulations again. We'll see
much.
AKG in the club finals very, very soon. The Jets have their champion, and now almost half the league have crowned its Madden 20 champs. We want to remind you that December 17th to 20th, all 32 NFL clubs will each send a Madden Pro to represent their team at the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship, presented by Snickers. And they will, of course, be playing for the Madden NFL 20 Club Championship belt in a prize pool worth over $700,000, which is not too shabby. So that brings our coverage of the Madden 20 New York Jets Club Championship to a close. We want to once again thank the Jets organization and their fans for their support of the club championship. Make sure to visit Madden Competitive Gaming on YouTube for VODs of each and every final during the run to the NFL Club Championship. Madden Mannix, join us later in the evening on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more club championship action. AKG is Jets Madden 20 Club Champion. Thanks for watching.